This program is made possible through the generous support of the City of Oceanside and Waste Management. The employees of Waste Management who work and live in your community wish the teams all the best. Think green. Think Waste Management.
Running to this side on the fly sweep. Marvin Beck dragging across, and he is inside. He's gone. Look out! Robert! Flips a tackle. Oh, what a great shot.
KOCT Sports is proud to present the high school football game of the week. Tonight, we're live from Herb Meyer Stadium on the campus of El Camino High School for the defending state champion Oceanside Pirates taking on the host, El Camino Wildcats. And good evening once again. My name is Art Root, joined tonight by Steve Lombard. We'll hear from our sideline reporter, Stacy Castleton, in just a little bit. But tonight, the football world's kind of been set on its ear, Steve. Something's kind of weird going on. Second week in September, and we've already got the City Championship. Well, it could be the CIF Championship, but they're not in the same league. But it feels like a CIF Championship whenever these two teams play. El Camino versus Oceanside, arguably the biggest rivalry in all of San Diego prep sports, happening tonight because of division realignment. Always a big matchup tonight, no exception. Both teams with potent aerial passing attacks, but both teams also need to establish something on the ground. Steve, break it down for us. What do both squads need to do tonight to pull out the victory?
Well, Art, I think you hit on a couple of really key points. First of all, again, you got the defending champions coming back. They've won 4 straight Division II titles, 5 of the last 6, brought home a state championship to San Diego County, the first ever here in this part of the region. And they're being with the people they've lost. Armani Taylor, 1,800 yards and 31 touchdowns last year. Jordan Wynn, the returning quarterback, but he lost his top 6 receivers who accounted for almost 160 catches and about 1,700 yards in receiving, plus about 14 touchdowns. So the big key for Oceanside, what they didn't really do last week, is establish the running game. Now, on the other side of the coin, El Camino's got to establish the running game also. Joseph Darris was the only guy who produced any positive yardage for the Wildcats. He had a 49-yard touchdown scamper. He ran for 79 yards total, but there was only one other player that actually gained 1 yard on the ground for the Wildcats.
Yeah, so El Camino, tough start last week. They lose to San Clemente 17-13. Oceanside, they eked one out last week against Eastlake, winning 26-23, but they made it really interesting, a little sloppy with the football.
Yeah, particularly in the second half. They had 6 fumbles. 4 of those came at the quarterback center exchange, which is uncalled for. And as Coach John Carroll put it, he said this was a loss in every sense of the word except the scoreboard.
All right, let's take a look at the starting lineups for both El Camino and Oceanside. Of course, the head coach for Oceanside, John Carroll. El Camino led by Trey Stenicky. You see Jordan Wynn leads the offense for the Pirates, with Latham, Nicholas, Demario Coleman, Siluano, and J.J. Whitaker rounding out the skill positions. Molesi, Lopez, Vasquez, Butler, and Brian Schwenke. Schwenke, one to watch. He has committed to Cal. He is a big, big star in the making. Junior Martinez and Jose Velasquez on the special teams. And on the defense, Washington, Schwenke again, Molesi, Butler, Martinez, Noah Tarrant, Jake Felly, and Justin Vaina. J.J. Whitaker, King Holder, and Renee Siluano field. For El Camino, Colton Morrison, 6'6". Joseph Darris, Atoe, Aina, Vasquez, and Quinini. Quezada, Te'i, Register, Navarez, and Dugan on the offensive line. Atoe and McPerry on the special teams. And for the defense, Te'i Letula, Cedric Te'i, and you see the linebacking core, Malaulu, Aina, and Rash. Thurman, Markham, Atoe, and Matt Rash in the secondary. And the corners, that'll wrap up the starting lineups. We're going to take a short break. When we come back,
I think we're going to throw it right live.
Right here. We're going to go to Stacy Castleton, and she's got the head coach for El Camino, Trey Stenicky.
Hi there, guys. As Art said, thank you for the introduction. I'm here with El Camino head coach Trey Stenicky. Thanks for coming on right before your big game.
Oh, I appreciate it. It's a great opportunity.
We had a chance to talk a little bit earlier. You were saying that playing Oceanside in Game 2 versus Game 10 is such an advantage. Talk a little bit about that and why you'd prefer this over the latter.
You know what? I think it's an advantage for both schools because the fact that we still have 3 non-league games before we break into league. And we're going 2 different directions with Division I, Division II. But unlike playing the 10th game where you're really concerned about staying healthy before you get into your playoff game, I think both teams can truly put everything down on the line today, and without any regard for that, and with 3 weeks of healing time, and it's gonna be fun as it always is.
That's right. The rivalry, like you said, it's one of the it's the best rivalry in San Diego.
Without doubt.
Last week came off of a loss. What are you going to do differently this week, especially against a much better team?
Well, you know what? I have to tell you, San Clemente is an outstanding football team, and they're a ranked team there in the southern section, and we played an outstanding game against an outstanding team and came up short with the last minute and 5 seconds when we let them drive the ball on us. That was a big disappointment. I think the kids might have surprised themselves a little bit, a little unsure that they could play with a team of that caliber. The whole demeanor this week, not just because it's Oceanside, but it's been a whole different level, heightened level of confidence, and really looking forward to playing the Pirates. We've got 23 seniors that understand this is their last opportunity. And, it should be the game of the week. It's the game of the year always for us.
Well, and now to the national anthem.
By the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed, twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bomb bursting in there, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land and of the free, the home of the brave. Thank you.
All right, I guess if that face looked familiar to you, it should. A very famous son you may have heard of by the name of Cuba Gooding Jr. That's Cuba Gooding Sr., recording artist for years and years, was in the band The Main Ingredient, and he sang the national anthem tonight, a special treat here at El Camino High School. So we're getting ready to set it up here. Kickoff just moments away. Steve Lombard, Art Root up here in the booth. Stacy Castleton is our sideline reporter, and we are thrilled to bring you live high school football tonight from El Camino High School as the defending state champion Oceanside Pirates take on the El Camino Wildcats. And Steve, as you get your headset set up over there, just set up a few thoughts. Good passing games from both teams, but something we talked about earlier, both squads need to establish the run. Running the football ground game is very, very important.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Art. The ground game is going to be important for both teams. Neither team established much of a running game in their openers, and of course, San Clemente came out on top of El Camino 17-13, and Oceanside hung on for that 26-23 win. So, again, as we mentioned in the open, establishing the running game and definitely taking care of the football are the two keys to this ball game tonight. And the one thing we do know, they've been getting at it since 1976 in this rivalry. And tonight, one of these teams is going to be 2-0, one of these teams is going to be 0-2, or they're both going to be 1-1.
That's right. You covered all the mathematical angles there, Steve, and we got a good look there at Trace Deneke pregame. Nice interview by Stacy Castleton, and Coach Deneke, high hopes for his squad this year. They did lose a few folks to graduation, notably the departing superstar Nelson Rosario, now playing for the UCLA Bruins. But they've got some weapons, and of course Oceanside, they don't rebuild. We've talked about this before. They just reload. and it'll be a test. They've won 13 straight, and they've won 4 CIF section titles, and of course the state title last year, the first for the program. They're trying to make it one for the thumb in local titles, that is. And let's see if they can go back-to-back state. But early in the season, just week 2, got up to a slow start last week against a game Eastlake squad who spotted Oceanside a bunch of points and then clawed their way right back into the game.
Yeah, Oceanside put up 26 in the first half. They scored 13 in each of the first two opening quarters. Then they wound up giving up 23. Jordan Wynn had a pretty decent game. He threw for 280 yards on the ball game, but he only went for about 55, 65 yards in the second half. So he's got to have more of a balanced passing attack to keep things consistent for the Pirates.
All right, let's talk about El Camino for a second as they start introducing their lineup here. As you see, number 14 there, that's Matt Rash coming out onto the field. El Camino always fired up. It's also another wrinkle tonight. It's senior night early because the guys on El Camino wanted to go ahead and do that against the during the Oceanside game night. So tonight is also senior night, city championship and senior night in September.
Yeah, and obviously it's going to be a full house tonight. Superintendent Larry Perandi, he's in a tough position. Here's a guy who, we have 2 major high schools in our district, and he's going to spend half the game on one sideline and half the game on the other. I don't think he has much choice.
All right. Well, we're just moments away from kickoff, and we thank you for joining us tonight live on KOCT. And a special thank you to the folks from the employees at Waste Management who work and live in your community. They wish the teams all the best. Think green. Think Waste Management. And El Camino is getting ready to kick it off. Back deep for Oceanside. Let's see if we can get an ID on the kick returners there. Looks like number 14, that's Renee Siliwano. And that's number 6 back there for Oceanside, Jerry Whitaker, back to return the kick. As you see the El Camino faithful here, full house tonight at Herb Myers Stadium. Saw Herb just a little while ago, too. He is in attendance, the legendary retired coach for El Camino Wildcats, and before that, the Oceanside Pirates. Set to kick for El Camino is Casey McPerry. And the city championship is underway. Short kick taken there at the 13-yard line. Returner there, number 34, that is Noah Tarrant. He is buried at the 24-yard line. That's where Oceanside will take over, 1st and 10. And that potent Oceanside offense comes out onto the field. Got up to a great start last week. They ran it up and down the field, and then the offense began to stall a bit in the second half, plagued by some pesky turnover problems. Pirates need to clean that up tonight.
And, of course, being the rivalry, the city championship, there'll be a few jitters early on, but once these guys get going, I'm sure we'll see a more settled-in squad on both sides of the ball.
Jordan Wynn at quarterback, calling out the signals. He's got one single setback, 2 wide receivers left now. Siliwano in the slot, comes in motion, and the give is to Siliwano. Tries to find some room, short gain there. Good tackling there by El Camino. Looked like number 24 and number 3 in on the stop. That was Devin Thurman and Ryan Enna. Call it gain of 2, 2nd and 8 for the Pirates. And you see right away Oceanside goes to the ground on 1st down. Want to try and establish the running game. 3 wide receivers set to the top of the screen. Good look there at Jordan Wynn. Wynn with the delay handoff there. Some running room up the middle. Good burst all the way out to the 36-yard line. The ball carrier there was number 20. That is Elijah Latham. He gains 1st down yardage and then some. Gain of 10 on the play. Casey Malaulu with the tackle for El Camino. But a gain of 10 for Latham and a 1st down for the Pirates.
Yeah, Latham last week, 12 carries, 45 yards. He also had 4 catches for 29 yards. So you're going to see a lot of him tonight coming out of the backfield, whether he's running it or catching it.
4 wide receiver set this time for the Pirates. El Camino shows blitz. Wynn over the middle. That pass is complete on the slant. Catch there made by Osmond Nicholas. And that's going to be good for first down yardage, too. That will get down to the 47-yard line, gain of 11. Wynn to Nicholas, and he's a big target out there, Osmond Nicholas, 6'3", 195-pound senior. And a good look at the replay there. As you see, Nicholas reaches back for the ball. Good throw by Wynn, on target, on time. Good enough for the first down.
Yeah, nice start for the Pirates so far. Really controlled, looking downfield, Wynn hitting his target, so a good sign if you're a Pirate fan.
Clock running just outside of 10 minutes here in the first quarter. City Championship, we're scoreless. And penalty flags here. And that's going to be a delay of game penalty against the Pirates. Back them up 5 yards. First and 15 from the 42. As we talked about in the open, Oceanside squeaked by in their opener against Eastlake, 26-23. El Camino took one on the chin, lost a tough one to a good San Clemente squad, 17-13. Wynn rolls right. He's got a receiver open, and that pass nearly intercepted. Dominic Markham made a move on the football and almost came away with it. Pass will fall incomplete. 2nd and 15. Looks like maybe Wynn was a touch late on that throw.
And that's a tough throw. He's rolling right. He's got to throw on the run. And Markham, great coverage. Stepped right in front of the receiver. And, fortunately for the Pirates, he didn't pick that ball off.
Jumped the route a little bit. Good recognition there by the young man. And the pass falls incomplete. Brings up a 2nd and 15 for the Pirates. They're from their own 42-yard line. Stops the clock, 9:55 remaining here in the first quarter. Wynn 5-step drop. He is looking deep, and there's some contact there, but no foul. Again, Markham on the covers. The intended receiver there was Demario Coleman. Little hand checking down the field, but the officials keep the flag in their pocket.
Yeah, and good reason so. They're just going down the field. They're both looking for position. A little bit of contact, but nothing to want to throw a flag on. And obviously the ball was overthrown, so he wasn't going to catch that. Pirates now facing their first big third down of the night.
All right, 3rd and long situation for Oceanside. Split right are Demario Coleman and Jerry Whitaker. 2 wide receivers at the top of the screen. Single setback for the Pirates. Siluano now in motion. He's the slot back. Little pass inside. Little middle screen pass there. Going to be short of first down yardage. Demario Coleman with the catch. He'll bring it down to the 48-yard line. That's a gain of 10, but that's going to leave him a long 5 yards short. We'll call it gain of 9 down to the 48. And that's going to bring up a 4th and 6 situation. And you see the replay here, Steve. Good move there by Coleman.
Yeah, nice little hitch pass. He just slanted right in, picked up 10 yards, and first punt of the night for the Pirates.
Kick is away, pressure, but the kick is out, and a penalty flag. That's going to be a roughing the kicker penalty, most likely against El Camino, as the punter is still down. Good look there at Lee Cadoon. He is shaken up on the play, and they're going to help him off the field, and that is a roughing the kicker penalty against El Camino, so that's going to give Oceanside the first down. Well, El Camino comes in at 0-1. Oceanside, of course, they open the season with a win. They're 1-0. They've won 13 straight. They've won 4 section titles, but they're not the only undefeated team here in San Diego. The North County Cobras at 8-0, also worthy of some recognition. Terrence Encyclopedia Webster just stopped by, and congratulations, Terrence. Your team's having a great year. And Terrence, as promised, their next game, the Cobras' next game, a quick shout-out for them, is We'll get back to that in a moment, Terrence, because I basically can't read your handwriting, so we'll figure that in a minute. But congratulations to the Cobras. We'll finish that thought in a moment. But back to Oceanside Pirates football. 1st and 10 from the 32. Costly penalty by El Camino. And the give there, the pitch. The ball carrier is Elijah Latham, and he has absolutely nowhere to run. In on the stop, Casey Malaulu, and a host of other Wildcat tacklers.
Yeah, that's just your basic student body left, and it looked like the entire student body or defensive side for El Camino was right on top of that, dropping him for a couple-yard loss there.
All right, so loss of 2 for Latham brings up a 2nd and 12 from the El Camino 34. We're scoreless, 8:23 remaining here in the first quarter. Art Root, Steve Lombard, Stacy Castleton, thanks for joining us for live high school football tonight on KOCT. Wynn back to throw, looking deep over the middle, and that pass nearly intercepted and then hauled in by the Pirates. Who came down with that? That's Jerry Whitaker with the circus catch. Great second effort in and out of the hands of the first Oceanside receiver. Looked like Demario Coleman had a hand on it. Then it went through the hands of an El Camino defender, and then Whitaker comes down with it.
And again, it was Dominic Markham had his hands on the ball. Looked like he had the interception, but the Oceanside Pirates just decided they were going to take that one right away from him, and the Pirates are looking at a 1st and goal early on.
That could go down as a play of the game, and we're early in the first quarter. That was a tremendous effort. Great concentration and second effort there by the Pirates and by Jerry Whitaker. 1st and goal from the 3. And the give there is to Siluano, and he is burrowing towards the goal line. He's close, and he's in. Touchdown, Oceanside. Siluano, 3-yard plunge, and the Pirates draw first blood tonight. 7:43 remaining in the first quarter, and they take the lead.
Yeah, nice opening drive for the Pirates, 75 yards. They ate up about 7:47 on the clock, 11 plays. But, of course, the big play was the penalty on the 4th down on the punt, keeping the drive alive.
All right, extra point try on the way here by Jose Velasquez. The kick is blocked. So it's a 6-0 lead for Oceanside, a Pyrrhic victory there for El Camino, but they'll come off the field fired up after blocking the extra point try, but they trail 6-0. Finishing that thought about the North County Cobras, they will host a playoff game, first round of the LCFL playoffs, October 4th at Oceanside High School. So fans, get out and support the Cobras, a great success story in San Diego football. These guys play hard every week and having a dream season at 8-0. Thanks, Terrence. All right, so... And you see Coach John Carroll there, the legendary head man for Oceanside. And a healthy Coach Carroll this year. No crutches, no casts. And they'll have a protective bubble, he joked, around him all season long. You see Coach Denicky leading his charges there on the El Camino sideline. High hopes for his Wildcat squad this season. And we couldn't be more excited to bring you the city championship. They could play this one in September. They could play it in May. They could play it in a parking lot. And it would be a sellout. It's always exciting. One of the biggest games of the year. Kickoff on the way, taken there at the 3-yard line. And down there. Knee went down, so tough break for El Camino. As Dominic Markham lost his footing. Knee touches down. They'll call it down at close to the 4-yard line where El Camino is already pinned deep, but they'll set up shop 1st and 10.
Well, we talked about both teams establishing the run tonight, but on that last drive, the Pirates came out and 53 of their 75 yards were through the air. So we'll see if the Warriors respond with an aerial game. They've got 4 wide receivers in the game already, as has Oceanside been on most of their plays, running 4 wideouts.
All right, our first look tonight at big 6'6" Colton Morrison. In at quarterback for El Camino. He will operate out of a deep shotgun. 4 wide receiver set, spread offense, and he is going to go down. That's awfully close to a safety. Nope, they're going to call him down on about the 1-foot line. That's where a 6'6" comes in handy. He just took a dive there to escape trouble, but he does avoid the safety, Thomas Molesi, in on the stop for Oceanside. Wholesale changes. Wow, looks like they've swapped out about the entire lineup there for El Camino. A little trickery here. I'm not sure what they're doing, but they're just going to pound it. A little different wrinkle, different package there as Coach Denicky did a wholesale substitution. They just put in some sort of power running play there off right tackle. Short gain there, move it out to the 2-yard line, brings up 3rd and 12, and Colton Morrison comes back out onto the field for the Wildcats. Good look there at Casey Malaulu, 6'1", 240-pound senior for the Wildcats. Morrison back to throw, heavy rush again, but he's got a receiver open, just overshoots his man. Intended receiver there was Sammy Quinini. Oh, I beg your pardon, looked like that was Markham was the intended receiver. That 6 and that 8 look an awful lot alike. Either way, pass incomplete, brings up a 4th and 12 for the Wildcats, and they will kick from their back line.
Yeah, probably not the kind of start Coach Denicky had envisioned. Of course, your kick returner goes down. That's uncontrollable. But to be pinned back like they are now, this is a tough spot for the Wildcats.
Elijah Atoe into punt. High short kick, fair catch there. Signaled at the 33-yard line by Jerry Whitaker. That's where Oceanside will take over. Great field position and a chance to build on some momentum here. We're midway through the first quarter. Oceanside leads 6-0. And, of course, Oceanside comes in number 1 ranked team in the county, number 8 ranked squad in the state. They're loaded, as usual. El Camino, as Coach Denicky indicated in the open, lost to a ranked squad in San Clemente. 2 good tests for the Wildcats early on in the season. They'll know where they stand as they get ready for a long 2008 campaign. Jordan Wynn in at quarterback, Siluano in motion, and the give is to Rene Siluano. Off right tackle, got some room to run, and he is upended there by Elijah Atoe, but not before he gets it out to the 29-yard line. Gain of 4 on first down for the Pirates, trying to establish that running game.
And Siluani's a versatile kind of guy. Last week he caught a pass. Last week he had about 42 yards rushing, and he also ran back a kickoff 84 yards that set up a Pirates score. So he's one of those kind of all-purpose, do-it-all kind of guys that the Wildcats are really going to have to key in on tonight.
Wildcats have had a lot of those guys through the years. Multi-purpose players they can really count on in a number of roles, and Siluano fills the bill. Rush coming, Wynn gets rid of it. That pass again underthrown, just a touch. Intended receiver down there, streaking down the right sideline, was Demario Coleman. Pass was short, and it looks like Wynn's timing may be just off a touch tonight.
Yeah, had he put that ball on the money, that would have been another score for the Pirates. Coleman definitely had the defenders beat, but Wynn just underthrew him.
All right, that brings up a 3rd and 6 for the Pirates. Jordan Wynn, he is committed to Colorado. A number of high school or a number of college-bound players in the game tonight. Big right tackle for Oceanside, Brian Schwenke heading to Cal. And Wynn back to throw, a little screen pass being set up and in and out of the hands of Jerry Whitaker. That'll bring up a 4th down and decision time for Coach Carroll. They're probably going to go for it here on 4th and 6. A pretty long field goal try for Velasquez.
Yeah, it's early on. You're not in a bad spot. You're already up 6-0. You're far down in Wildcat territory. And if you pick up a few yards, you don't get it, it's not much different than a punt.
All right, so Oceanside keeps their offense on the field. They will go for it on 4th and 6. And the Wildcat faithful hoping for a stop. Win lots of time, passes complete Forced out of bounds there at the 22-yard line. That's going to be short. Looks like maybe, it's going to be close. They may have to measure this one. Demario Coleman. Nope, they're going to give it to him.
No, I think he's a yard over. It looks like they got that first down.
Great spot there. Oceanside will take it. First down for the Pirates, down to the 22-yard line. Demario Coleman with the catch. .5:16 remaining here in the first quarter. Oceanside leads 6-0. A little draw there for the Pirates. Ball carrier there, Elijah Latham. Gain of 2 on first down, 2nd and 8 from the 20.
This is a tough possession for the Wildcats. They've got to be able to hold these guys to a field goal attempt. They don't want to be down 13 or 14-0 with a few minutes left in the first quarter. So we're going to see what the Wildcat defense is made of here over the next couple plays.
Two wide receivers split right. One split left, slot back. In motion there is Jerry Whitaker. Pass over the middle, and that one is intercepted by El Camino. Jordan Wynn been living dangerously with a couple of off-target throws, and that one is intercepted.
Elijah
Atoe.
So the Wildcat defense did, on cue, steps right up for me, and I appreciate that.
They were obviously in the pre-production meeting earlier this week, so nice play by the Wildcats, and they blunt that Oceanside drive, and Jordan Wynn throwing a couple of fluttering passes tonight, not quite getting as much on it as he wants, maybe taking a little bit off it at times. Too much air under that one, and the result is the interception, and I'm sure Coach Carroll is giving him an earful right now on the sideline. Give there, is that Joseph Darris?
That's Joseph Darris, son of El Camino principal Dan Darris.
And Darris bounces it outside. Give him a gain of 2 out to the 8-yard line, 2nd and 8 for the Wildcats. Justin Vaina on the tackle for the Pirates. And you see Coach Denicky there signaling in the play. Morrison from the shotgun, Darris, the lone setback. Morrison back to throw, and he is looking long. A little bit of contact down there, and that pass goes incomplete. That's Ryan Enna. Good coverage there by Leon Cadoon, and the pass goes incomplete, a little bit long. Brings up a 3rd and 8 for the for the Wildcats.
Yeah, and that's only Morrison's second throw of the night, but neither quarterback sharp so far. Wynn's hit a couple passes, but he's been a little bit off, and Morrison's now 0 for 2 as well, missing on the deep ball.
Colton Morrison, a guy the scouts just love, 6'6", ran the 40 in 4.85. He's committed to San Diego State. I'm sure Chuck Long appreciate his presence there in the program as they try and rebuild here at San Diego State. And that pass is complete for big yardage there on 3rd down.
Ryan Enna
hauls it in, and he brings it all the way out to the 32-yard line. Gain of 24, and the Wildcats are in business, 1st down.
Yeah, big play for the Wildcats, and if you look, if you saw the play again, you see the defender for the Pirates slipped a little bit and fell down, which opened up the gates for the big 1st down.
3:35 remaining, first quarter. Morrison back to throw, and that pass is too long. Overshoots the intended receiver there, Demario Coleman. J.J. Whitaker back in coverage, and that went through his hands. He may have lost that one in the lights or not seen it until the very last second, because he was wide open on that play and could have returned it for a pick 6. All right, 2nd and 10 for the Wildcats from their 32-yard line.
You got movement up front.
Snap. Ball start on the offense. 5 yards, still 2nd down.
All right, back it up 5 yards. That'll bring up 2nd and 15. Want to thank our special sponsor tonight, Waste Management. From the employees of Waste Management who work and live in your community, we wish all the teams the best. Think green. Think Waste Management. Colton Morrison under center there for El Camino in the shotgun. They like to spread it out, the Wildcats do. Inside handoff there, and Joseph Darris is buried.
Nothing at all there. That front line of the Pirates was right in the backfield from the moment that ball was snapped. And Darris gets dropped for a couple-yard loss.
Looked like Noah Tarrant and Brian Schwenke were in on the stop. And a good look there at Justin Vaena for the Pirates. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 20 for El Camino after that 5-yard loss. Morrison. That pass is intercepted. That is big Thomas Molesi lumbering his way towards the goal line, and it's a touchdown.
How about that? What a change of events.
Thomas Molesi, the down lineman's dream. Looky what I found. It's a football. Run the other way, big fella. And he brings it in for the touchdown. And Oceanside leads 12-0. As both teams scamper to get their special teams unit on the field. A thrill for Thomas Molesi, 6'3", 260-pound junior for the Pirates, as he lumbers in for the touchdown. Extra point try is good. And the Pirates lead 13-0 and send a jolt through this El Camino crowd. And there's a good look at Thomas Molesi there.
And just as it looked like the Wildcats were getting themselves out of tough territory, they had the nice big play pass. The penalty set them back, and once the penalty set them back, it put them in long situation, and lo and behold, look what happens.
Molesi being congratulated by coaches and teammates. There's Herbie in there giving him some congratulations as well. 2:36 remaining here in the first quarter. Oceanside, no slow start tonight. They lead 13-0. They did get out to a big lead last week against Eastlake, so anything can happen. They need to keep their focus. El Camino, on the other hand, needs to turn this thing around.
Well, just like last week, they led 13-0 after one quarter. Then they went ahead and put up 13 more points in the second quarter, and then went to sleep the rest of the night.
Good look there at Coach Carroll with his brain trust there on the sideline. Most of the Oceanside coaching staff has been with Coach Carroll for years. Good article in last year's North County Times talking about how that coaching staff is like a family. Kick taken there at the 13. Some room up the middle. The penalty flag thrown in on the far side of the field, but the kickoff taken out to the 32-yard line. And it looks like the kick returner there was number 10. That is Eric Vasquez. And El Camino will set up shop, but let's wait for the ruling by the officials here.
Return team.
All right, that's an illegal block by the return team, so El Camino will back it up a few yards, and they will set up 1st and 10 from, looks like their 14-yard line. And Coach Denicky not happy with that latest development.
Yeah, that's 3 big penalties so far for the Wildcats. 3 penalties for 35 yards, and they've all been crucial penalties.
All right, so Colton Morrison to give to Darris. Justin Vaena shot through the gap and slowed him down, and then finished off there by a couple other Pirates tacklers, but Vaena, first one in on the stop. No gain there. That'll bring up 2nd and 10 for the Pirates.
Well, as we mentioned in the open, the Warriors last week, all the yards they got on the ground came from Darris. The only other guy who actually picked up 1 yard was Casey Malaulu, and he had 1 yard rushing. So the Wildcats are struggling on the ground game so far early on in the year.
Little delay handoff there. Joseph Darris, once again the ball carrier, as El Camino continues to try and establish that running game. He'll bring it out to the 16-yard line. Big Brian Schwenke in on the stop for the Pirates, and Schwenke is headed to Cal.
And the question is, will he go to Cal on the offensive side or the defensive side? Because, as you know, he plays both ways here for the Pirates.
There's been some talk that they like him as a center, but we'll see where he ends up. Clock running, 1:18 remaining here in the first quarter. Nope.
Yeah, movement up front again. Pirates showed blitz, and I think they might have got one of the Warrior linemen to flinch.
All right.
Good ball. Full start on the offense. 5 yards, still third down.
Eagle Eyes Lombard got it correct.
Well, you know, you guess once in a while, you're bound to come up right once, every blue moon.
How's that work? Broken clock is right twice a day, is that
Exactly.
it? All right. 3rd and 13 from the 11. Looks like El Camino might be changing the play here. Coach Deneke is putting in a late signal here to his quarterback, Colton Morrison. Now he'll go from the shotgun. Joseph Darris to his right. Morrison, good throw there. That pass is complete. Eric Vasquez. And that'll go all the way down to the 27-yard line, but a huge third down conversion for El Camino. That ball come out at the end there, Steve?
I think it hopped out just as he went down. His knee hit the ground, hit the turf, but a nice throw by Morrison, right on the money, and that's a big play the Warriors needed for a first down.
All right, Wildcat football, 1st and 10 from the 27. Clock running down here in the first quarter. We are now at 30 seconds and counting. El Camino trails 13-0. And they may just let this one bleed down a little bit. Nope, they're going to get it off before the end of the quarter. Yeah, 15 seconds to spare. Plenty of time, and that will stop the clock as that pass is nearly intercepted there on the far side. Leon Kadoun on the coverage.
Might have been a little confusion between the quarterback and the receiver on the route, but nearly another interception for the Pirates.
Stops the clock with 12.4 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. This is the first of our 3 KOCT high school games of the week this season. October 10th, we'll have San Pasqual at Oceanside, and on November 7th, Valley Center against Oceanside. So we are thrilled to bring you a trifecta of games this year, the KOCT high school football games of the week. And we thank you for joining us tonight for live football action as Morrison with the give to Darris. And that play will end the first quarter as he is dropped for a loss of 1 on the play. But that'll do it for the first quarter. All Oceanside so far, they lead 13-0. And we are going to throw it down to our sideline reporter, Stacy Castleton, whenever she's ready. Stacy, take it away.
Thanks, guys. We just can't talk about this rivalry enough. I mean, not only does it bring the whole community out, and there's such great sportsmanship and fan participation, this is also for the younger generation and the older generation. For these kids, this is huge. They not only go to church together and socialize together off of the field, quite often they're playing their cousin or their brother with the way that the communities are formed out here in Oceanside. And to take it even a step further, Coach Deneke worked for Coach John Carroll back in 1989 and has served in the Marine Corps with a few of the other ones. Coach Deneke said that 80% of tonight's seniors will remain in Oceanside for the next 10 years of their life. So we're not playing for just today. We're playing for 10 years, and for these coaches, even a little bit more. So this is a big game, and there's a lot riding on it for everyone. May the best team win. Back to you guys in the booth.
All right, thanks, Stacy. Yes, some of that local flavor always in evidence here on the city championship night, El Camino versus Oceanside in the all Oceanside city battle. These kids grew up together, they all know each other, and that's why it's one of the biggest games of the year. Penalty flag here. And that's going to be offsides against the Pirates. And again, want to take a moment to thank our very special sponsor tonight, Waste Management. From the employees of Waste Management who work and live in your community, we wish the teams all the best. Think green, think Waste Management. Third and 6 from the 31-yard line. Colton Morrison, first quarter stats, 2 of 7, 1 interception for 40 yards. Of course, that interception run back by Thomas Molesi for the touchdown. And that time, Morrison facing the blitz. Siluano saw daylight, but he forgot to haul the football in and secure that football. Oh, I'm sorry, I beg your pardon. That's Matt Rash. Siluano is 14 for Oceanside.
Yeah, big drop there for the Wildcats. Rash had a lot of open field in front of him, and if he had held on to that ball, he might still be running.
So Matt Rash with the drop. That'll stop the clock. 11:54 remaining here. Just underway in the second quarter. El Camino will have to punt it. And there's Elijah Atoe back to punt. Good kick. End over end. Fair catch there by Jerry Whitaker at the 40-yard line. Oceanside takes over good field position once again. They lead 13-0. Take a moment to discuss some of the folks who have college commitments out here on the field tonight. Osmond Nicholas, big wide receiver for Oceanside. He is committed to SDSU, as has Colton Morrison, the quarterback for El Camino. Brian Schwenke, we've discussed him earlier, heading to Cal. And Jordan Wynn, the quarterback for Oceanside, headed to Colorado.
Well, the nice thing is a lot of these kids are staying out west. So, like to see that.
Wynn back to throw. That pass is complete with some room to run. That's DeMario Coleman to the 20. 10-5. Touchdown, Oceanside. And just like that, a 7-second possession for the Pirates. They take it 60 yards. DeMario Coleman catches it, finds some space, finds a seam, runs to daylight, and he's gone.
And again, another simple hitch pass. Coleman just slanted right in, slid in behind, in front of near his offensive line, found a niche, made a cut, and he was gone. Great speed by the kid.
The Pirates can strike in a hurry. They show us right there how fast they can score. Velasquez on to try the extra point. It is good, and the Pirates lead 20-0. 60-yard touchdown.
Now, do you think Coach Carroll is over there on the sidelines right now thinking this looks a lot like last week? And if you remember last year, when Oceanside opened up their season at home against Helix, one of the best teams in the county, they had a similar game. Again, Coleman just makes the cut through the middle, and he just outruns everybody. That's what speed will do for you.
Well,
but like I said, if you remember last year's opener, the Pirates had, I believe they had 6 turnovers against Helix. They lost that game. Of course, they went on to win 12 straight, pick up a state championship, and their winning streak is up to 13. But right now, they're looking pretty good with a commanding 20-0 lead with almost a full quarter to go here in the first half.
Well, you did hit the nail on the head there, Steve. Last week, Jordan Wynn was 14 of 20 for 215 yards in the first half. And they, as he was quoted in the North County Times last week, he said after the first half scoring 26 points, we thought we'd run up 50. So similar start tonight, but then things bogged down for the Pirates last week. We'll see if they clean that up and can put together 48 minutes of football tonight. But so far, through 12 minutes and 25 seconds, looking pretty good.
Yeah, so far the Warriors are really struggling. They've got a total of 1 yard on the ground. Or excuse me, the Wildcats.
All right, that kick is taken at the goal line. Good return there out to the, we'll call it 25-yard line.
That's Markham again.
Yeah, Elijah Markham on the kick return. Finds a little room down the sideline, and they're going to go ahead and spot that out at the 20.
It was close to the 25, but...
Yep, they're still sorting out the spot.
Unless they're saying he stepped out of bounds before that.
Yep, must have stepped out of bounds closer to the 20-yard line. 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line for the Wildcats. Oh, actually, looks like the ruling is touchback. So the yardage on the return is nullified. Bring it out to the 20. El Camino 1st and 10. Morrison rolls left. That pass is too tall. Intended receiver there is Eric Vasquez. Jerry Whitaker in on the coverage for the Pirates. Yeah, last week, a weird game for the Pirates. They race out to a big lead against Eastlake. And then a play as elemental as the center quarterback exchange became a bugaboo all night long. Nearly got Eastlake all the way back. Closed it to 26-23. Little slant complete there. That's Ryan Enna with the catch. He brings it out to the, we'll call it the, close to the 30-yard line. That's going to bring up a 3rd and short situation there. 3rd and 1 yard, maybe a little bit less than a yard for the Wildcats. Good pitch and catch there for El Camino.
So far, the Wildcats 1 for 3 on 3rd down tonight, but this is the shortest one they've had so far.
And again, that slant.
And flags coming in off from all over the place.
Yep, Leon Cadoon on the coverage, and looks like timed that a little bit too soon. Made contact before the ball was there. Not much of an argument from the young man, so. So 1st down for the Wildcats, and they'll take it. They need to generate some momentum here. Down 20-0, 10:45 remaining here in the first half. And of course, El Camino still operating from the shotgun. 2 wide receivers at the top of the screen. They've got one split at the bottom of the screen. Single setback, that's Darris, and the handoff is to Darris. Fighting for yardage, pushing the pile. He's finally slowed down there. Gets it out to the 47-yard line. Looks like Sam Newey was in on the stop for Oceanside. And Thomas Malesi, number 78, had the touchdown earlier in the contest on the interception return. And he is a force in the middle.
Well, so far the Pirates doing a job on Darris. He's carried the ball 5 times, but he's only netted 6 yards tonight.
2nd and 7 from the 47. Coach Deneke relaying the signal into his quarterback, Colton Morrison. Again from the shotgun. Steps up and fires. And that pass is too long. Actually a good miss there. Pretty good coverage. Pretty much threw that one away. Intended receiver there was Eric Powpow. Good look there at Powpow. 6 foot, 185 pounds. He's a senior. Another in the list of great Powpows that have come through this program. He certainly has the pedigree. That'll bring up a 3rd and 7. Another look there at Eric Powpow.
But again, the story of the night tonight, Art, I sorry to interrupt you there, is the Wildcats, again, facing another 3rd and long situation.
Pirates show 3 down linemen here, 4 linebackers set in the nickel. Pass over the middle and through the hands again. Eric Powpow, the intended receiver. It looks like Morrison and the Wildcats just can't seem to get it in sync tonight so far. That'll bring up 4th and 7 and a punting situation for El Camino. Talked about the realignment a little bit in the open. These teams were Avocado League rivals for years. But now Oceanside back in the Valley League, and El Camino's been moved to the Palomar League. That's why these teams are playing so early in the season, because, of course, the schedule backloaded with league opponents the second half of the year. As that kick takes a great bounce for the Wildcats, and they'll down it all the way down near the 8, call it 9-yard line. So 44-yard punt, no return, and Oceanside will start deep in their own territory. But again, a little bit about the Palomar League. El Camino, their opponents in the league, Carlsbad, Poway, Rancho Bernardo, Rancho Buena Vista, and Vista. And in the Valley League, Oceanside, they will play Orange Glen, Ramona, San Marcos, Valley Center, Westview, and Mount Carmel. 1st and 10 from the 8. Oceanside takes over here. That looked like 3 yards, maybe 4 yards in a cloud of dust for Oceanside. Couldn't quite tell who the ball carrier was there. Was that Latham?
Yeah, that was Latham again.
Number 20. Joshua Latalu in on the tackle for El Camino. Call it gain of 4, 2nd and 6. Wholesale changes on the defense for El Camino. They shuttle in some personnel. A little bootleg for Wynn, and he's got all kinds of room to run. Finally tripped up there on the far side, in on the tackle. That was that was Markham in on the tackle, number 6. But Wynn, nifty little play call there by the Pirates. Little quarterback keeper, the naked bootleg, and he picks up the first down out to the 22-yard line.
Yeah, gain of 10 yards, and a nice job of hiding the ball. And, of course, as soon as El Camino sees him make that move, they're thinking pass, and he just slipped to the outside and picked up a first down.
And a nice tackle there by Markham, because really he was the only guy that Wynn had to beat. Good hard running there off the right side, Elijah Latham. And Latham a little disgusted with himself there. I think if he felt like if he kept his balance, kept his feet out from under him, he keeps going a long way. Instead, tripped up, gets it out to the 29, gain of 6, call it 2nd and 4 for the Pirates. This time, Wynn directly under center, no shotgun. Back to throw, 3-step drop, looking long, and that pass is intercepted. Coming the other way is Markham, still on his feet. He's got room to run, needs a block. Oh, he doesn't get it. Osman Nicholas with great hustle to bring him down from behind. But a terrific interception and run back for El Camino. Dominic Markham with a great play.
Well, what's the old saying, Art? 3rd time's a charm. He had his hands on 2 earlier, one that led to an Oceanside touchdown, but this time he held on, made a great play at about his own 48, and he's taking it inside the 10, putting the Wildcats in great position to get themselves on the scoreboard.
And Markham being congratulated by teammates and some boosters over there on the El Camino sideline. And you see him sky for the interception. Uses his hands, brings it in, then uses his blockers well. And right here, has some room to run. If he gets one more block, he takes it. But he was hauled down from behind as we're back to live action here. And looks like Darris was the ball carrier. Jake Feely in on the tackle.
And Art, this is a situation where the Wildcats, they've got to get a touchdown here. They can't settle for a field goal. Their mindset has to be, we're going in, whether it's going to take us 3 plays or 4, but we're going across the goal line.
Darris, the ball carrier there, he is stood up and brought down. Jake Feely again on the tackle for the Pirates. Brings up a 3rd and 4. Looks like Oceanside here in the red zone. The defense is pretty tough. El Camino going to have to work pretty hard to punch this one in.
Well, again, they've got to think of this as 4-down territory. A field goal, it's nice, but it's not 7 points. 7 puts them in much better position to get back in this ballgame.
And it looks like Coach Deneke is going to burn a timeout here. Does not like something he sees. So he's going to regroup his squad as they take a timeout. And that gives us a chance to do a little housekeeping here. We, as you saw, pregame, Cuba Gooding Sr. with the national anthem tonight. And the reason that he was performing is to promote a very special event happening here in town in the next couple of weeks. Cuba Gooding Sr., formerly, well, actually, with the Motown recording group, The Main Ingredient, he's going to be performing 2 shows at El Camino High School on September 27th. And the purpose of these shows is a fundraiser as they try and put a new gym floor at the gymnasium at El Camino High School. They've got a great basketball program. Ray Johnson has had a dynasty at El Camino for years, but admittedly the gym floor there does not meet their high standards. So El Camino state ranked, but the gym floor is not. So fundraiser to try and rectify that situation. So that's where Cuba Gooding Sr. comes into play. He's going to perform 2 shows in this fundraiser for a great cause.
And you'll probably be hearing the old classic, Everybody Plays the Fool, if I remember correctly. That's one of their big hits, the originators of that song. I think redone by Aaron Neville.
That is correct. The Neville brothers back in the day also did the song, I Just Don't Want to Be Lonely. And
that's not lonely.
El Camino, yes. The touchdown there by Ned, and TTA is how you say his last name. Ned TTA with the touchdown. He is mobbed by his teammates. And 0 is a lonely number for El Camino, so now they've got 6.
Well, turnovers have played a key role so far. Of course, Oceanside with the big pick and the return for a touchdown, and Markham's pick here for El Camino setting up this score, putting the Wildcats right back in position to get right back in this ball game. What do we got on the scoreboard? About 6.5 minutes still to play.
Going for 2, and again the throw there to TTA, and he can't haul it in. That 2-point try is incomplete, so that makes the score Oceanside 20, El Camino 6, 6:38 remaining here in the first half. A little bit more about Cuba Gooding Sr. At halftime, Stacy Castleton will catch up with him, talk a little bit more about what he's doing, where he's been, his famous family, and the fundraising event for the El Camino gym floor. Again, 2 shows at El Camino High School on September 27th. Cuba Gooding Sr., the main ingredient, as it were.
Well, the main ingredient in this case, obviously, is money when it comes to putting in a new gym floor. But nice to see the community getting involved. If you're an Oceanside resident, you know that back in June, the community overwhelmingly passed Proposition H by about a 71.4% margin. And that bond money is going to help pay for new renovations at both El Camino and Oceanside High. In the next couple of years, you're going to see terrific new fields and stadiums here, along with a lot of new classrooms. It's not just about athletics. So that kind of money, and then with that help from the fundraisers from the community, you know, we're trying to provide the best facilities we can for our kids. We want first-class facilities for what we consider to be first-class kids.
And somewhere out there, Herb Meyer is saying hallelujah. Kick taken at the 13. That's Jerry Whitaker, still on his feet, bouncing off tacklers. He gets it out to the 29-yard line. Human pinball machine there. Bouncing off would-be tacklers, and a good return there to the 29-yard line. And as Terrence Webster reminds me, Cuba Gooding Sr. is a local. He lives in Del Mar. So perhaps you've seen him around town. If you do, say hello. He'll be glad you did.
And thank him for supporting the Oceanside Unified School District.
Absolutely. Siliwano in motion for the Pirates. Ball carrier there. Again, Elijah Latham. He bounces it outside, and that'll be a gain of, we'll call it 2, maybe a gain of 3. Bring up second and a long 7. Yeah, gain of 3 on the play there for Latham. Clock running. 6 minutes remaining here in the first half. It's been all Oceanside so far. They lead 20-6. El Camino just got on the scoreboard moments ago to close the gap to 14. Whitaker in motion, then back to the top of the screen. And looks like a fumbled handoff. El Camino signaling that they've got the football, and they do.
So again, turnovers, as we talked about. Running game and turnovers. There's really been no running game on either side, but turnovers have now been a big factor for both sides.
Big Joshua Latalu on the fumble recovery for El Camino. 6'4", 323 pounds. He's listed simply in the players to watch in the UT as unblockable. So there you go.
I don't know if I've ever seen a guy listed as unblockable.
Joseph Latalu with the fumble recovery. And another big play. Several big plays on defense tonight so far, Steve.
And the defense right now is setting the tone for this ball game. You take away the 2 interceptions, you take away this fumble, and we're probably looking at a much closer score and a much more balanced ball game. But the turnovers are obviously setting the tone tonight.
Colton Morrison from the gun, and this time it's going to be an option pass. Receiver wide open, and the touchdown. Ryan Enna on a beautiful throw. Was that Colin Jones who delivered that strike? What a great play from El Camino. A little trickery there on offense. Colin Jones with a little flanker option pass to a wide open Ryan Enna. We've got ourselves a ball game, Steve.
And set up very well by the Wildcats. The give to Jones, you're thinking probably the typical end around, and he pulls up and hits a wide open receiver for a touchdown. You're right, we've got a ball game.
Momentum is a fickle thing. It was squarely on Oceanside sideline for the first 13, 14 minutes of this game. Last few minutes, El Camino trying to snatch it right back. Little dive play inside as Morrison tries that little Brett Favre handoff fake jump pass there, but the 2-point conversion try is no good. Joseph Darris stopped short of the goal line, so that'll make the score 20-12. But El Camino clawing their way back into this football game. A couple of big plays on defense and then on offense.
Well, again, shades of last week, except it's happening in the first half for the Pirates as opposed to the second half.
Another look here and a terrific pass. Just beautiful. It's splitting double coverage there. Great coverage there by Leon Cadoon and Rene Siliwano. Stride for stride with the receiver, but a perfect throw. Colin Jones makes it. He goes 6'3", 180 pounds. He's a junior.
Well, there was only one place that pass could be, Art, and it was exactly where it had to be. Split the 2 defenders, put it right on the money, and we got a ball game, 20-12.
All right, the El Camino coaching staff conferring with their charges there on the sideline. McPerry set to kick it away. And a short kick there.
Onside kick.
That's right. Surprise onside. And surprise, another down lineman comes down with the ball. Tokyo Marquise.
Or is it Marquise Tokyo? I believe it's Marquise Tokyo.
Yeah, Marquise Tokyo. You are correct.
Nice play by the lineman, though.
The surprise onside surprised even me. I can't read anymore. Little more trickery from Coach Deneke. Try and catch Oceanside off guard, but Tokyo makes the catch. And Oceanside will take over 1st and 10 from their 48-yard line. Win with a 3-step drop. Throw in traffic. That is intercepted. Matt Rash. And listen to the crowd. They're going nuts.
Well, the Pirates offense has simply gone to sleep. That's the third pick of the night now for Wynn. 12-yard return for Rash, who almost had one earlier, if you recall.
Matt Rash, he is pumped up on the sideline. Good look there at his teammates there. There's Powell, number 52. That's Elliot Powell, and you also saw Dominic Markham congratulating Matt Rash after that clutch interception, and El Camino back in business. 5:16 remaining here in the first half.
And most importantly, playing on the short field.
Coach Meyer up here, where were you when it was 20-0? All of a sudden, the fortunes changed for the Wildcats a little bit. Hey, looky here, Herb Meyer is up here.
I'm in here.
I know you have, Coach, just giving you a hard time.
They made life miserable for themselves in that first quarter. That roughing the kicker penalty really hurt. And then having an interception and fumbling it right back to the guy down on the goal line. You know, hadn't been for those two plays, things might be different.
Well, Coach Denicky will take them any way he can get them, and one big play can lead to other big plays, and the momentum gathers, and all of a sudden El Camino is making this a very interesting game. They trail 20-12. You can see a spring in their step. Looks like the tempo is just up a beat here for the Wildcats. Swing pass there, and as soon as I say that, kiss of death. Pass incomplete to Eric Powpow. But, Coach,
drop passes are hurting. Drop passes have hurt this quarter. But interesting game.
Yeah, that's one way to put it. And Coach, I know you went through back in your day. Did they pretty much just have you exclusively in the Avocado League, or did they ever move you around?
No, we had always been in the Avocado League. Oceanside went to the Valley at one time and then came back. But El Camino has always been in the Avocado until this year.
It's just weird. And when they moved you guys out of the league, did you have to front load the schedule and play Oceanside early?
Before, you mean?
When Oceanside, hold that thought, as a great catch by Ryan Enna. And El Camino making plays all over the field right now. Circus catch by Enna. All the way down to the 11-yard line, and Oceanside is on their heels. But to finish that thought there, Coach, I know Oceanside they had been moved to the Valley League some years ago. Did you guys have to play your city championship game early when that was the case?
Right, but we played it, I think, about the 4th or 5th week. We didn't play it this early.
Yeah, this does have kind of a weird feel, but it's still the city championship, still the best rivalry for the money here in San Diego, and looks like there's a penalty on the play, so we're going to talk about this one a little bit. We'll reset the action, but Coach Meyer, retirement, you're looking good. Retirement treating you well?
Yeah, I think it has a lot to be said for it.
We talked a little bit before the game, and you had mentioned that retirement kind of rolls back the years because you watch the game and then you get to go home. You don't have to start game planning for next week's opponent or pulling your hair out watching film or any of that other stuff. So pretty uncomplicated being a fan, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very different, and you get to enjoy the game from the standpoint that that's what it is. It's a game for me. It's not a continuing saga, so to speak. Of course, I don't have any hair left to pull out anyway, but it is it's interesting from a different perspective. And one of my sons who had coached with me for 20 years is still coaching for another school, and I get to go watch him play and so forth. So it's an entirely different perspective when you don't have to worry about what's going to happen next week.
And another thing, as Morrison back to throw, he's going to pull it down, and he's going to be brought down. Big Thomas Molesi with the sack for Oceanside. Morrison looked at a couple of options, had to pull it down, tried to scramble, and he is dropped for a loss. But Steve mentioned this a couple of minutes ago about the bond measure passing, and I said that you were somewhere shouting hallelujah as new fields, new stadiums are going to come to town here for both Oceanside and El Camino. One thing about having the city championship in September, you don't have to worry about the mud bowl or the mud bog or a torn-up field. This is a pretty clean field tonight.
Right. No, the field is in pretty good shape right now, and of course it gets its use during the year and it wears on. But typically our field had always held up a lot better than a lot of schools in North County for the grass. But obviously if they get an all-turf field, it'll be even better. And that's on the planning board. It's just going to take a while.
Well, that'll be something to see. A field turf field, sparkling new bleachers, new facilities. That would be a real shot in the arm to the athletic programs for both schools, who richly deserve it. So let's hope that I guess the schedule is the 2010 season.
Well, originally when they were planning the bond issue, they had said 09. And but now that the thing has gone through, they said that the plans are that they will start right at the end of the 09 season and start construction then, and try to have everything done before school is out in June of 010. So the 010 season will be new. But by that time, I think everybody in the North County except Oceanside and El Camino will have an all-turf field. So we'll be the last ones to join the group.
All right, Coach, your thoughts on, obviously you're rooting for El Camino, of course, but a former Oceanside guy. Your thoughts on the tremendous accomplishments of Coach John Carroll, winning their first state title. They've won 4 CIF local section titles. What's your take on the job that Coach Carroll's done with that Oceanside program?
Well, John's done a great job. I've known John for a long time. When he coached up in Orange County, we used to talk at coaching clinics every year, and he'd say, "Tell me when there's a job down there. I got to get to San Diego." And eventually he did, and it took him a while from the time that he came before he became the head coach. And it took him a while to rebuild the program there in terms of he struggled with low numbers for a couple of years and with some discipline problems. But once he got kids to buy into doing things the way they should be done, they've made steady progress. And we had some great games over the years, back and forth. And 99 was a great year when we were 1-2 in the county and wound up playing in that last game of the season for the championship. And then we both went on to win CIF championships, where they had the City of Champions rally at the beach with the mayor and everybody, and that's the way it should be every year. But since that time, John's been very, very successful, and I think it's been a lot of hard work and richly deserved. I think he's done a great job, and unfortunately, the rest of the athletic program at Oceanside hasn't kept up with the football program. You'd like to see everybody have a little more success, but they've done a great job, and hopefully El Camino can get back to where it is, the city championship meaning something every year with the two of them battling for a title.
That would be something, and the pendulum has swung Oceanside's way in the football program, but Coach Deneke, as you see, for Coach Deneke, that was 50. Joshua Litalu with a nice tackle there for the loss, brings up a 2nd and 13 for the Pirates. Coach Deneke, he's got the program on the right track as well.
Yeah, well, he made some changes after we changed hands, and you have to put your own stamp on what you're doing, and it takes a while to get things reorganized. But 2 years ago they were tied for first place, and they've good shot. That's a free ball.
Hold that thought, Coach, as you called it. They're going to call that an incomplete pass. That looked like a lateral from up here. It certainly did. Steve, what did you see?
Well, I'm going to have to disagree with you guys. I know, imagine that. But it looked like his arm was moving when he got hit, but he got tattooed from behind, and the Pirates are really lucky that ball didn't come up a live ball.
Let's see if we get another. That's true. We'll see if we get a replay
and I
on
could
that
be wrong,
one.
and that won't be the first time that's happened either.
Let's see if we can dial one up in the truck as you see Coach Deneke there. We were talking about the job he's done, putting his imprint. He's got some pretty big shoes to fill. As we get a look at the replay, that is a lateral.
I'd have to agree with both of you now.
So actually, the ball should be called out where Siluano collected it and ran out of bounds. So Oceanside gets a big break. Incomplete passes, the ruling 3rd and 13. And the give to Siluano. Is he going to throw it? He's thinking about it. Now he's going to tuck and run. And he is going to be brought down well short of first down yardage. Pretty much just fight to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, he did run about 15 yards, but the net gain is only about 1.
All right, that's Casey Malaulu with the tackle. So with 2:23 remaining here in the first half, Oceanside's drive stalls, and El Camino a chance to snag some more momentum here, Coach.
Yeah, no, it's, the first quarter, El Camino played everything in their own end of the field. They had terrible field position, And at least now they're up playing around midfield where they got a chance to get field position. And it's tough playing out of the shadow of your own end zone.
I was just curious, Coach. I know you did this for a lot of years, and I'm sure there's things you miss. I'm sure there's things you don't miss about coaching. But what do you really still enjoy most when you come back out and you watch these kids play?
Well, when I go to a college game or a pro game or just watching it on TV, I'm not a yeller and screamer. I watch things and I try to analyze what they're doing, and I appreciate good plays. And it's the same thing. I think that you watch kids, and when they do well, you always told our coaches, the job of coaching is to teach kids how to play the game, and you can align the kids and you can give them the assignments that they have, but the players still have to execute. Well, and so see kids do things well is always something to be proud of,
Well, and what you're saying, I always think of the great basketball coach Al McGuire, who once said that no coach wins by what he or she knows, but it's by what your players have learned.
Right, or what you've taught them, and then
exactly.
They've got to execute it, though.
All right, the punt is away, and that's going to take a Pirate bounce, and it will be down near the 35-yard line. So 1st and 10 for the Wildcats from their 35-yard line. 34-yard net on the punt, no return. And so the Wildcats will take over. They've got 2:11. See if they could punch in another score and make this even more interesting.
In that last possession, another key penalty for the Wildcats. Great pass, a great catch. Looks like they're moving right down the field, and the penalty just set them back. So we'll have to see what they can do in the last couple minutes here.
The give to Darris, and he is just swarmed over by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 white hats there for Oceanside. Thomas Molesi led the charge, and nowhere to go for Joseph Darris. El Camino trying to establish a running game. Not much success so far tonight in that department.
Yeah, Darris, leading ball carrier, 9 carries for a net of 6 yards, so they've got the clamps put down on him pretty tight.
See, advanced Matt, that's a 0.7 per carry. Carry the 2, okay. So, although he did break a big one last week, so he's got it in him, that's for sure. If
49
they can spring
yards
him
last week.
That's right. Clock running, 1:23 remaining here in the first half. Art Root, Steve Lombard, Stacy Castleton, our sideline reporter, and Herb Meyer joining us for a little bit here in the booth as Darris again dropped for another loss. Just not a lot of room to run there against that big Oceanside front.
And I would say with the time on the clock, the Warriors are just content to run this thing out and see if they can get out of the half just trailing by 8 points. Of course, timeout down the field called by Oceanside, I believe.
All right, and as we wind things down here in the first half, looks like as a timeout is burned here. Not sure who took. Okay, Oceanside takes that timeout with 1:10 remaining here in the first half. Make sure you stick around at halftime. After the first half action, we're going to take a short break. Then we're going to come back with some halftime festivities and an interview. Our sideline reporter, Stacy Castleton, will be talking to Cuba Gooding Sr. during the half, so stick around for that. He's going to be discussing the fundraising event, 2 shows he's putting on September 27th. Cuba Gooding Sr. from the group The Main Ingredient. And, of course, he's got some famous kids, too. You might have heard of them. And some wide receiver named Rod Tidwell. Some sort of distant relation there, too. So for all you Jerry Maguire fans out there. All right. We're back to live action here as El Camino breaks the huddle.
In a similar position that they've had all night, a 3rd and long. Not just 3rd down, but 3rd and long for the Wildcats.
And again, happy to grind it out as Darris tries to fight his way for some positive yardage. Good gain there on 3rd down, a little draw situation. On 3rd and 13, he's going to bounce it out to the 40-yard line, gain of 9, but that's going to bring up a 4th and 4 for the Wildcats. And looks like the Oceanside call a timeout there. They do. So,
and that run right there, Art, eclipsed his entire total for the night.
Get another look here.
But a nice piece of running, though. Runs hard, puts his head down, keeps battling, keeps the legs moving. And you can't fault a kid for picking up 9 yards on third down.
And Darris dragged Jake Feely for about 4 yards on that carry until Rene Siliwano could come in and finish off the tackle.
El Camino now 1 for 6 on third down tonight, but as we mentioned, most of those have been in long situation. I think their shortest one was 3rd and 1.
So Coach, back with Herb Meyer again for closing moments here in the first half. We see you in September. I know you head off to Arizona to enjoy retirement during the football season. I don't think we have El Camino for another KOCT game, but are we going to see you on the sidelines again later this season?
I don't.
Let me qualify that. Not the sidelines, in the stands. Coach Deneke says, no, Coach. That's my sideline now. But will we see you in the stands again this season?
I'm not sure. We've got a trip later this month where we're going back to Michigan for 10 days. And when we get back, then we'll go to our second home in Arizona for October, November. And we'll come back here then sometime in December. So it depends on what happens with the schedule. Obviously, El Camino's won their first-round playoff game the last 2 years, which has kept alive since 1982. El Camino's 22-0 in first-round playoff games.
That is one of the most remarkable stats in San Diego in the CIF section history. Because think about that for a moment. Every team can have a letdown in the first round. And at 22, that is just amazing. Well, I heard that not too long ago, and I was dumbfounded by that statistic. So
we always played well in the first round, even if we were the third-place team going in as an at-large or we were the league champion. So I said that's why El Camino's won the last 2 years. They kept that streak alive. And, I think it's something to be proud of. It's part of your tradition, and I'm glad to see it keep going.
If you don't mind me putting you on the spot, since you're going to Michigan and Big Ten country, and we're out west, any thoughts on tomorrow's Big Ten SC Pac-10 showdown?
Boy, Ohio State's going to have to play really well, or USC's going to have to play really badly. SC looks very, very tough, both offensively and defensively. I was very impressed when I watched them play, and I mean, they've got one of the best defenses in the country.
One of the fastest.
But boy,
defenses.
They just kept running out one running back after another in that first game, and Sanchez had a great first game. I mean, if he can keep that up, they're going to be real tough.
Sorry to interrupt you there, Coach. Back to live action for a moment here. El Camino takes the timeout. You see Coach John Carroll talking to the officials there. That stops the clock with 42.6 seconds left here in the first half. Oceanside is led throughout. They lead 20-12. Big plays, offense and defense. Really no big special teams plays yet tonight, but that could change.
Well, the turnovers have been kind of special, depending on what side of the ball you're on.
Right, so. That's right. They were special for Thomas Molesi, who hauled in an interception and rumbled in for the touchdown. So always special when a down lineman finds himself with the football in the end zone.
And then, of course, Dominic Markham for the Wildcats with a great interception, a great return that set up the El Camino's first score of the game.
All right, before we get carried away here, Coach, wanted to thank you for spending a little time with us. Always good to see you.
Well, appreciate the invitation, and, I enjoy watching a football game, and, of course, these are two teams. I've got a past history with both of them, so I really can't lose. I was very honored by Oceanside High School 2 years ago to be in their charter class for the High School Hall of Fame. And over the first 100 years of a school to be included in the first 13 people, that was pretty special.
That's heady company. So congratulations, Coach.
They still have a soft spot in my heart.
Absolutely. Enjoy the game, and best wishes always.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So going to run the clock here. Well, it looks like the officials are thinking about it here. Scoreboard showing 36.5 seconds remaining, as it looks like both teams are content to just grind this down and take it into halftime.
And it looks like, they're running it. Jordan Wynn took a knee on that first snap. I don't know what the confusion is, but they've been signaling to run that clock. And that's just what they're doing.
All right, as we count it down here, we are going to wrap up first half play. Looks like time for one more snap. And Wynn takes a knee. Okay, we're going to keep it right here. You see the halftime score. Oceanside leads 20-12. But we're going to keep it right here. Very special guest here at halftime. Stacy Castleton has Cuba Gooding Sr. on the sideline. So as they get in position, you see a look at the score. 2012, Pirates lead. Stacy with Cuba. Take it away.
Hello there. I am here with the extremely talented and very well-known Cuba Gooding Jr. You may have heard of his kids.
Senior.
I'm sorry,
Cuba Gooding
senior.
The old
Junior.
one.
Junior would be his son. You're most known probably for your involvement and lead singer as the main ingredient.
Main ingredient. Cuba Gooding Sr., me, sang the song Everybody Plays the Fool, no exception to the rule, and Just Don't Want to Be Lonely and all of that. We came out of New York in 1969, and our music's still on the radio after 40 years. Yay! And now I have a new CD. It's called Begin with the Family, with a brand new DVD called Politics, a cut from the new album. That's not why I'm at this school, though. I'm at this school to build a new gymnasium for the school because it's necessary, it's important. And some of my grandkids or great-grandkids probably are going to go here next year or the year after, okay?
So what exactly does this event entail? It's a couple of Saturdays from now. It's Saturday, September 27th.
Right, Saturday the 27th.
Okay.
And the itinerary, of course, is on my website, cuba-gooding.com. Go to www.cuba-gooding.com, and it'll tell you all about politics. Politics, I'm going to be giving away my DVDs and selling my CDs. And we're going to give the money to the school to build the gymnasium. Give me another big round of applause, yeah. And you are wonderful. You're allowing me to say everything I want. Now, what else you want to know?
Well, let's talk about exactly how much money needs to be raised for the school. I'd say the gym they need $100,000. So
Just for the floor.
Right. So your goal is to raise how much?
$50,000 to $60,000 within the next 6 weeks. Next week I will be here because I don't expect to make it just from selling product. We're doing concerts. We're going to have raffles. We're going to have giveaways. We're going to have amateur shows. The Begin with the Family Fund is going to. It's called the Begin with the Family Fund. I don't have my name in it except for the politics. Okay, the Begin. I'm having so much fun. And we're going to make sure that we support the educational system as much as we can through the schools. Make the money come directly through the schools. We make enough money. Cuba Jr. makes enough money. I make enough money. We're going to give some of this money to the schools so we can do well. It's a privilege to me. I live in Del Mar, by the way, and you can always walk up to me, get an autograph, and buy one of these. No, I'm just kidding. But you can get one of these at any time.
And buy one for El Camino, right?
She's delightful. She's just wonderful. She lets me just run my mouth. I'm also happy to say that Tim Obies and I, Tim is here watching me, making sure I mention his name, we're going to be soliciting youngsters to sing and perform and help the people in this school because I'm going to be working with the choir.
El Camino's choir that has many, many accolades, I understand.
Everybody plays the fool behind me. They're very good. I'm honored to sing with them and Begin with the Family. They're going to sing that with me. But politics, I do alone. Politics.
Now you'll be singing with the entire group, the main ingredient, is that correct?
And the choir.
That'll be great.
But I'll have to keep the choir quiet so they can hear the main ingredient because there's about, 30 of them, isn't it? 27?
Very powerful voices, yeah, it gets a little loud.
Powerful. I rehearsed with them. They blew my mind. Tears came to my eye. Everybody Plays the Fool never sounded so good. It was because of that choir. Okay, I sang the national anthem right there just now. I got a standing ovation for the national anthem because I had been rehearsed by the choir. They told me to breathe in and use my diaphragm and make sure I pronounce every word. And the teacher, Mr. Bridgewater, the choir director, he is brilliant. This is a great place to be, and I'm going to be, anytime you need me, www.cuba-gooding.com. Look at my website. Call me. Talk to me. You might get a ticket to a Cuba Gooding Jr. movie. Yeah.
And most importantly, make sure to come out on Saturday, September 27th, to support the El Camino Choir because the gym floor is part of the original structure of the school, which was built in the 1970s. Well, thank you again for coming on with us tonight.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you.
And after this short break, we'll come back with some halftime show. Thanks.
All right, there's the El Camino Band and Pageantry Corps as they do their thing on the field here on senior night, on the night of the City Championship. City Championship early this season, second week in September, as Oceanside leads 20-12. Steve, your thoughts on an entertaining first half?
Yeah, and again, we talked about it early on how turnovers would play a key role in this ball game, and the turnovers have set up some big scores for both sides. Jordan Wynn he's had an off night. He's had 3 interceptions in the first half. I think he was 5 for 12 in the first half.
Why don't you go ahead and just run down the stat sheet for us?
Sure. Overall, OHS managed 42 yards on the ground. Wynn accounted for 123 in the air for a total of 165. Latham picked up 25 yards on 6 carries, but again, the big number is the 3 picks for Jordan Wynn and the Oceanside offense.
All right, we're going to take a look at some highlights from first half action. Really a tale of 2 quarters. Oceanside dominated in the first. You see the good little run and catch there, or catch and run, and again, that's Demario Coleman, rather. There was an interception. 1 of 3, and then right away, Thomas Molesi turns the tide for El Camino, bouncing off would-be tacklers. I didn't even notice he had coughed it up on that interception, but fell on it for the touchdown. Good catch there again. That's Eric Vasquez. And a big run here. This was probably the biggest, most electrifying play of the game so far, the 60-yard touchdown.
60 yards by Coleman.
Yeah, Demario Coleman. Run and catch for 60 yards and the touchdown. And then this was a pretty great play, too. And a terrific run here. Dominic Markham tracked down from behind by Osmond Nicholas. He almost took it to pay dirt. And then that was Ned TTA with the touchdown catch. And then a little trickery dialed up by Trace Denicky. Terrific pass there from Colin Jones to Ryan Enna. And there's a look at your halftime highlights as the Oceanside Pirates lead 20-12. Halftime highlights brought to you by Waste Management. From the employees of Waste Management who work and live in your community, we wish the teams all the best. Think green, think Waste Management. Think we're going to take a short break here. We're going to come back with second half action, so stick around. You're watching live high school football. It's the high school football game of the week on KOCT.
Hello, I'm Vernon Allen from the Oceanside Public Library Foundation. Our mission is to ensure the continuing excellence of public library services by private fundraising. Andrew Carnegie originated the idea of free public libraries by donating much of his fortune to build public libraries all over our country. Because of this idea, the Oceanside Public Library has been able to offer free services for more than 100 years. Now the foundation is asking you to participate. Carry on this great philanthropic tradition for our own Oceanside Public Library. Your donations for the future of the library are encouraged and welcomed.
It's a whole new KOCT Oceanside. You're watching Oceanside's community television, 2 whole channels dedicated to Oceanside government and community news. And you don't even have to own a TV to watch KOCT. Log on to KOCT.org to get streaming video of your favorite programs, like Inside Oceanside, Journalist Roundtable, and Oceanside Spectrum. Or turn to your TV Guide channel to find out what's on KOCT, channels 18 and 19. Who knows, maybe you'll even see someone you know. Like me. Like me.
Like us.
Like us. Tune into your community by tuning into Oceanside channels 18 and 19. KOCT.
We're out celebrating the 6th annual Filipino Cultural Festival in downtown Oceanside at the Civic Center.
The
this represents a unification of every people here on Earth, not just in the Philippines. The Philippines got a lot of cultures, and there's a lot of diversity of people there, and we want to put this things group together.
What I like to do is I like to make my sauces and put them in these squeeze bottles, so when it's time to portion them, it's easy to portion or decorate the plates with. So I have the roasted red pepper aioli inside here.
Birds fly over the rainbow and white, and oh why can't I?
Welcome back to the City Championship live on KOCT. Oceanside leads 20-12. Art Root along with Steve Lombard and Stacy Castleton. And we are just thrilled to bring you live football tonight right here on KOCT. Our first of 3 high school football games of the week this season. We'll see Oceanside 3 times. This is our only look at El Camino. But so far, El Camino, after digging themselves a big hole down 20-0, making this an interesting ball game.
I would venture to guess that one of the conversations they're having in that locker room has to focus on the word penalties. They have had 2 crucial penalties that have led to big plays for Oceanside. The first was that running into the punter, which kept that first drive alive. And the second big penalty came in about 3 minutes to go in the first half. They had a nice drive going, and then they made a great play down the sideline, a great catch. And that play got called back on a big third down. And had they gone in and scored, either a field goal or touchdown, we'd be looking at a much different score right now.
All right, but El Camino in striking distance, 20-12. They trail. Oceanside, the number 1 ranked team in San Diego. They've won 4 straight CIF Division II crowns, local crowns that is, and they made it to the mountaintop last season, as high as you can go in high school sports. They won a state title, knocking off Novato last December 28-14 to capture the Division II state title. So Oceanside has won 13 straight, gunning for number 14 tonight. But they are the hunted. Every week they're going to get the other team's best shot, and El Camino is trying to muster that best shot tonight as well.
And I think if you follow the local media enough, you've read the comments, you see the articles, but Coach Carroll was quoted as saying, when you're number 1, you're on top. It makes anybody's season when they're the ones who knock you off. I mean, you've been there. You might lose 9 games all year, but if it's that one, you look back and you go, it wasn't such a bad season after all.
Well, ask the New England Patriots how they feel about those long winning streaks. There's a bunch of 18-1, the 19-0 T-shirts on kids in underprivileged children in third world countries somewhere because I guess the NFL has some sort of pilot program where they donate all those unused T-shirts to kids who really need them in faraway lands. And the New England Patriots not too happy about their 19-0 T-shirts going far, far away. But just to illustrate that point, it only takes 1 week to stub your toe, and Oceanside's avoided stubbing their toe, as it were, for 13 straight weeks. Can they make it 14? We'll know in another 24 minutes of football.
Yeah, and 13 is going to be lucky or unlucky for the Pirates tonight. But, you talked about how high they're ranked. They're ranked number 1, obviously, in San Diego County. Depending on whose poll you believe, they're 5-7 throughout the state. USA Today's got them ranked. But they're going to have to play much better than what they've shown the first 2 weeks to maintain those kind of rankings.
Yeah, and no surprise, historically, Oceanside, a little bit uneven to begin the season the last couple of years. Last year, they dropped the opener against Helix before ripping off the 12 in a row to end the season. This year, they're 1-0 and with the lead tonight, but not the crisp football you expect from a John Carroll squad. Expect them to clean it up. El Camino, again, just trying to stay close, keep the momentum. 2 years ago on this field, El Camino upset the favored Oceanside Pirates. So a little home cooking. Stranger things have happened. The city championship happening in September. If that isn't strange enough, who knows? Maybe El Camino can dial up an upset here in the second half.
Well, you look at the scoreboard, and despite everything that's gone on tonight, it's a one possession, it's a one-score game.
All right, so we're less than 2 minutes away from kickoff. You see Coach Deneke, the retired Marine colonel.
But what you don't see right now are the Pirates back out on the field.
No, they're taking their time.
I'm sure that John Carroll has a few more words of wisdom for his club before he sends them back out on the field. The Wildcats are already back out, and they're fired up and ready to go.
All right, a good look there at the El Camino Wildcats squad again. They are at 0-1 right now. Dropped the opener at San Clemente last week, 17-13. Would love to even their record at 1-1 and would love nothing more than a big win to start things off in the win column. Nothing better than beating Oceanside. But the Pirates will have something to say about that as the Pirates now make their way back out onto the field. And we are just 1 minute away from kickoff. They might delay this just a little bit. We'll see if they do end up starting it on time. Steve, you were running down the stat sheet. I don't know if you got a chance to finish the stats, but you did point out the quarterback play and the uneven quarterback play. Colton Morrison, 4 of 15 for 53 yards and an interception. Jordan Wynn, really not much better, certainly not any more efficient. 5 of 12 for 123 yards and 3 interceptions. He does have 1 touchdown pass.
Yeah, and I think the big stat for the Wildcats, though, is that running game. 14 yards total between about 4 guys. And Dan Darris' son, Joseph Darris, has carried the ball the majority of the time for the Wildcats tonight, but he's having a difficult time finding any room. He did break one for 9 yards, but that's the most daylight he's seen tonight against this Pirate defense.
Yeah, it's a big, tough, physical Pirate front. They are tough to run against, and El Camino trying to establish that running game, and we'll see if they stick with it in the second half. All right, so now the teams are coming out on the field, the special teams units, the kickoff squads, as we are just about to get second half play underway. Velasquez on for the kickoff for Oceanside. And there's a good look there at Jose Velasquez, 5'10", 160-pound junior. Puts the right foot into it. That kick will bounce into the end zone. That's going to be a touchback. So good special teams work there. Good work by the kicker. Velasquez puts it into the end zone. El Camino starts 1st and 10 from their 20.
Now let's play the hypothetical game here. Let's say El Camino takes his ball, marches it down 80 yards, and scores. What's that do to the mindset of the Pirates?
Well, I'm stepping into the analyst role for a moment. I like this. Well, I think the Pirates would then have to be concerned because on the road, hostile territory, you really don't want to let the underdog hang around. So I think this is a critical possession for both teams. See who comes out with more fire here in the second half. And the give there is to number 7. That's Eric Pow. And he bounces it out to the 25-yard line, almost to the 26. We'll call it 25. Gain of 5 on the play. 2nd and 5. Nifty little run there by Pow.
And not meaning to put you on the spot, but just it's a curious question because Oceanside comes in, and rightfully so. They have to think they're the reigning champs. They are the better team, but they're in a tough spot right now. If the Wildcats can march this ball down the field and put a ball in the end zone.
Well, another thing it shows too is 2 weeks in a row they'll have squandered big leads, but a lot of football left to be played, so we'll see what happens that time. The give to Pow. Justin Vaina on the stop for Oceanside. Short gain there. We'll call it 3rd and 4 for the Wildcats.
And the Wildcats 1 for 6 on 3rd down conversions tonight. This one more of the shorter variety, though. And a little change up in the backfield, looking like they're trying to find a little more quickness, a little more speed out of that running game.
Morrison bobbles the snap, and he has got to be brought down. Thomas Molesi cleans it up. First one in the backfield applying pressure was Bashari Washington. And the sack will drop the Wildcats back to the 20, we'll call it the 20-yard line. That'll bring up a 4th and 10. And a disappointing possession for the Wildcats. They will have to punt it away. Jerry Whitaker back to return the punt for the Oceanside Pirates. He is standing at the El Camino 47-yard line. Line drive punt taken there at the 47 by Whitaker. He brings it out to the 40, still on his feet down to the 35, and he's going to be stopped there. Looked like number 43 for El Camino, J.J. Taeli, and number 51, Juita Tei, on the stop for the Wildcats. But Whitaker, the punt return, 12 yards, brings it down to the El Camino 35. Pirates will start with terrific field position. .9:54 remaining here in the third quarter. Oceanside has led throughout. They lead 20-12. Jordan Wynn at quarterback for the Pirates. Whitaker in motion and the inside handoff to Whitaker, and he is stopped there. Looks like first one on the tackle was number 3 for El Camino, Ryan Enna, and he looks like he's also working off a cramp. He is going to come out. Matt Rash will check in for the Wildcats. As you see Enna limp off the field, he was favoring that left leg right away after the tackle. Looks like it's just a cramp. Second and 10 from the 35 for Oceanside. Whitaker again in motion. Wynn deep drop, steps up, fires. He's got a receiver wide open. 5, touchdown Oceanside. Demario Coleman. Somebody lost track of him in coverage because he was completely wide open. Not a brown shirt within 10 yards. Easy pitch and catch. Scampers in for the score. 35-yard touchdown strike. And Oceanside back in business. They lead 26-12.
Yeah, and watch it on the replay. As you see, he's the only white blip out there. And he makes a nice cutback, finds the end zone again. Nice start for the Pirates again. Quick start to begin the second half.
And Coleman having a big night for the Pirates as Velasquez comes on for the extra point try. And the extra point is good. So 27-12, Oceanside in command. And that extra point try brought to you by Waste Management. From the employees of Waste Management who work and live in your community, we wish the teams all the best. Think green, think Waste Management. And also a little factoid from Waste Management. Got to get that in. Did you realize that recycling one aluminum can saves the energy it takes to run a TV for 3 hours?
I have heard that before.
That's just one can. By recycling more than 32,000 tons of aluminum, Waste Management saves enough energy to run 1 million TVs for 17 hours per day for an entire year. So, again, think green, think Waste Management.
I'd have to say those are the stats of the night.
Yeah, that's right. Anytime you see 32,000, 1 million, 17 hours, those are big numbers. And Oceanside putting up some big numbers as well tonight. They lead 27-12. Jose Velasquez set to kick it away for the Pirates. High kickoff going to be taken at the 5-yard line. Out to the 25, to the 30. Still on his feet.
I believe that's Markham again.
That's Dominic Markham.
He's having himself a heck of a ball game.
All the way out to close to the 40-yard line. There is an injured player on the field for El Camino. Dominic Markham's so fast I can't seem to identify him tonight. I've had trouble with his number all night long. And Markham is hobbling, but another player injured back at the 30-yard line for El Camino. Let's see if we can get a number on that young man. Can't quite make it out yet, Steve. Still can't quite tell.
No.
All right, maybe we'll get a good look here as the training staff attends to the injured El Camino player. This is one thing, away from the camera shot, if you guys pull out to a wide shot, you see everybody's taking a knee. Great sign of sportsmanship and respect. There you go. Sportsmanship and respect displayed by both teams, and you got to love that class move by both squads.
You hate to see anybody go down at any time, but I think this is actually the first time we've had a stoppage in play for somebody tonight, so that's a positive sign. Of course, anybody who's down, though, that's never a good thing.
All right, so let's see if we can get a better look at the injured player here for El Camino, and perhaps if we've got a replay of the kickoff, we might be able to figure out who the injured player is. All right, here we go. And a good return here. You see, yeah, that might have been, well, it's not 14 Rash. I thought I saw a 4 in there, but still couldn't quite tell. We'll get another look here.
It's not Rash, 14 just
no, we know
walked
it's
onto the
not.
field.
Yeah, we know it's. All right, we're still waiting. And we see him coming up off the field. Yep, it's a 48. And look at that full moon tonight. That's a great shot as you see number 48.
Well, that's Joe Rash.
Yeah, Joe. That's right. So Joe Rash comes off the field. Matt Rash concerned, of course, as Joe Rash is helped off by number 74 and number 32. That's don't have a 74 for El Camino, but 32 is Nicholas Terrell. A great look there at the El Camino faithful. All right, let's hope that that's not a serious injury to Rash. And Morrison in at quarterback, 1st and 20 from the 41, and that pass is incomplete. What we didn't see there, I don't know if it's truly a 1st and 20 situation. Looks like it really is a 1st and 10. Looks like they might have the wrong number there on the scoreboard. So we'll call it a 2nd and 10 based on the chains. 2nd and 10 from the 41. Morrison, 6'6" quarterback, headed to San Diego State. And he throws, and that pass, again, looks like some miscommunication. The intended receiver there was Eric Vasquez. Rene Siliwano on the coverage for Oceanside through his hands. We've seen plenty of drops tonight, dropped interceptions too.
Yeah, an interesting approach by the Wildcats. That first possession, they came out running the ball hard, and now they've got the ball back for a second time, and they've gone with a 4 wide receiver set, and they're airing it out this time. So I'm not really sure if they're sure whether they really want to run it or throw it.
All right, and number 74 there for El Camino helping his injured teammate outfield. That is Brandon Taylor. So we wanted to make sure he was correctly identified. We didn't have him on our roster, so thanks to the El Camino staff for sending that our way. 3rd and 10. Morrison deep. Shoots it over the middle, and that pass is also incomplete. Again, looking for Eric Vasquez, and Morrison not sharp tonight, and Coach Deneke is not pleased on the sideline. You can see, well, mind readers, you might want to look away from the TV for a moment or look closer if you want to get a better look at what he's saying, but pass goes incomplete, 4th and 10, and El Camino will kick it away. Matt Rash checks into the ball game for El Camino. J.J. Whitaker back to return, and they're going to kick it away from him. That's going to take an El Camino bounce, and it goes out of bounds at the 25-yard line. 34-yard punt, no return. Oceanside will take over 1st and 10 from their 25-yard line. 8:26 remaining here in the 3rd quarter, and the Pirates lead 27-12. And Terrence, as I promised, I owe you something from the other day. So for all your real estate needs, make sure you call Terrence Webster. And his website is terrencewebster.com. That's terrencewebster.com. All right. And he's with the Buchanan & Associates real estate team. Since Oceanside is playing, of course, Willie Buchanan, Oceanside Hall of Famer, College Football Hall of Famer, Green Bay Packers Hall of Famer. One of the Oceanside greats. Oceanside leads 27-12. Inside handoff there. And Elijah Latham, and he coughed up the football. And El Camino signaling that they got it right back. Let's wait for the officials.
Number 2.
Nope, they're going to say that El Camino did not get the football. Pirates retained possession. All right, 2nd and 10 from the 28-yard line for the Pirates. I beg your pardon. There was we'll call it a 3-yard gain on there. 2nd and 7 from the 28. 7:42 and counting, third quarter action. Pirates lead 27-12. Jordan Wynn stumbles, taking the snap, recovers nicely, and then the pass incomplete. Looks like the receiver fell down there on the far sideline. And the intended receiver there, can't quite tell who that is. There he is. That's Junior Whitaker, or J.J. Whitaker, Jerry Whitaker. So 3rd and 7 situation for Oceanside. Strangely enough, they haven't faced a lot of 3rd and longs tonight so far.
Not a lot, but still Wynn having a tough ball game tonight. He hasn't been too sharp. He's been off on a lot of his passes. Of course, he's made they've had a couple big plays, but Coleman turned in both of those big plays for him.
Wynn back to throw. Good time to throw, and
penalty marker on the play.
Skying for that reception there is number 10, Demario Coleman. Penalty flag on the far sideline there near the 30-yard line. Sometimes that could be lining up in the neutral zone. That could be an offsides. That could be any number of things. We'll wait for the word from the officials.
It looks like an ineligible receiver downfield.
And they will call that one against the Pirates, knock them back. And one more sponsorship mention for a good local event coming up. The Involvement of Oceanside sponsors Scholarship Dinner. That happens on September 20th from 10 to 5. Oh, man, chicken ribs, potato salad, green beans, bread, dessert. Price for chicken, $7. Ribs, $8. A combo plate, $10. For more info, contact Mike Gibbons at 722-2847. That's the Involved Men of Oceanside sponsorship dinner. All right, Terrence, I think we're caught up now. So, big thumbs up from T-Webs. All right, Jordan Wynn rolls to his left, and that pass is too tall. Intended there on the near sideline. Intended receiver there was Rene Siliwano near the 40-yard line, and that's going to bring up a 4th down and a punting situation for the Oceanside Pirates. Good look there at number 3 for El Camino. That's Ryan Enna. Made a couple of big plays tonight. Oceanside leads 27-12. It's the city championship this time in September. Art Root, Steve Lombard, Stacy Castleton, thanks for joining us tonight for live high school football. It's the game of the week on KOCT. Fumbled snap, but he gets the kick away, and a fair catch there at the 45-yard line. That's Markham on the fair catch. See, I can identify him when he calls for the fair catch because he's not moving so fast. Otherwise, he's a blur.
Yeah, he's got a couple big plays tonight. He ran back that interception, 41 yards. He's got a 36-yard kick return, and, of course, that time he didn't have the opportunity to run the punt back, but that might be the best way to identify him.
All right. So El Camino back, they send their offense back out onto the field. Colton Morrison heading to San Diego State. You see Coach Denicky there. In motion, Sammy Quinini. And again, the running plays going nowhere for El Camino. Bashari Washington nearly got that handoff before the ball carrier did. Good look there at Bashari Washington. 6 foot, 195-pound senior. Loss of 3 on the play. They'll bring up 2nd and 13 from the 42.
Washington scored himself a touchdown last week. Little fumble return. Big play for the Pirates.
Yeah, in their what turned into a nail-biting win versus Eastlake. They made it interesting. Big hit there by Jordan Vaena as the reception is made there on the near sideline. That's number 43, J.J. Taeli with the catch. He's going to get it out to the 47-yard line. That's going to bring up a 3rd and a long 8 situation, and you get another look at this play. And let's see if there's a face mask. Nope, looks like he just got him around the helmet. High tackle there, grab him by the hair as Morrison rolls to his left, and looks like he had 2 receivers in the vicinity. El Camino running a bit of a hurry-up offense here. We barely got that replay in. Looks like 43 was in the vicinity, J.J. Taeli. And there was another receiver, I think number 5, Elijah Atoe. But that pass falls incomplete. And that's going to bring up another punting situation for El Camino. That drive stalls, 5:55 remaining here in the third quarter.
Again, another long third down conversion that the Wildcats are unable to get. 1 of 8 on the night, and in a game like this against a team like Oceanside, that is not going to get it done.
All right, another...
some punt trickery here.
Absolutely. Keeping Oceanside on their toes, and
they might have out tricked themselves.
Yeah, it looks like Justin Vaina. I think I called him Jordan Vaina earlier. I apologize for the misidentification. Justin Vaina with the timeout. Heads-up timeout there. They were fooled. They didn't know what was going on in that formation, so wisely burn a timeout. You've got them. You might as well use them. You don't want to let a team score off some gift because of some sort of trickery that you can't diagnose. Or at least even get a drive-extending first down with some special teams foolery. So Oceanside burns the timeout.
Well, the trickery actually has paid dividends for the Wildcats. Now you remember in the first half, they went for the technically the halfback option, and that worked out well for them. So I'm sure as the night moves on, we're probably going to see something else come out of the dark, deep pages of Coach Denneke's playbook.
All right. Also want to, we've got a moment, little inside baseball here. Want to congratulate Russell Ferguson here on the KOCT staff for winning an Emmy back on June 14th. So congratulations, Russell.
I know Russ. He's a quality guy.
Absolutely. So. And got one more piece of KOCT news to give you in just a moment. But first, the punt. A good punt. Nearly touched by the Pirates, but it's going to be down there at the 13. And I hear I hear Jake Rush, our esteemed director, in my ear. And Jake, were you telling me the truth on that last little announcement? All right. I might need to get independent confirmation on that one. Anybody else chime in? Okay, Bobby, congratulations to Russ Ferguson and Bobby Polsky on the KOCT staff on their recent engagement. So congratulations, you guys. Man, love is in the air. All right. So congratulations. 1st and 10 for the Pirates. Back to football. A little thing called a football game tonight. All right, you guys, get back to work. No more wedding bells, okay? We can plan that later. All right, so first down carry there. Good yardage there out to the 21-yard line. 7-yard pickup. All right, out to the 21.
I'm actually going to a wedding tomorrow. Not mine. I've been there, done that.
Well,
but
what time are the nuptials?
Unfortunately, 4 o'clock.
I was going to ask you, what football game are you missing tomorrow?
A former student of mine, she's now 27 years old. I had her originally, she was about 12 or 13 in my class, and great kid. And I said to her, did you not check the schedule? Did you not know what's happening tomorrow? And she just said, Mr. Lombard, you just need to show up. And I said, okay.
All right. And show up you will. A good mentor you are. Okay, so I didn't see who the ball carrier was there. I'm too busy talking about football games and weddings. 3rd and 3 from the 20. 4:36 remaining here in the third quarter. Oceanside has led throughout 27-12. And it looks like there's a El Camino player cramping up. That's number 3, Ryan Enna. Here, right outside linebacker. Looks like he's cramping up a little bit, but now it looks like he is okay. And Wynn will roll to his right, and he is going to run this one. Nope, he goes ahead and fires downfield. That pass is complete. Jerry Whitaker with the catch, and I was wondering if he passed the line of scrimmage. I think it was close.
Well, I think we might have a face mask on the tackle after the catch.
Right.
He was close. I agree. I'm with you on that one, Art. He might have caught a break of whether they didn't throw that flag for coming across the line.
All right, we'll see if there was a personal foul face mask here as you see Whitaker going to the sideline. Looks like he might have been shaken up on the play a little bit. He was.
So they're going to tack on some yardage on the end of this one.
Yep, that's a could be a 15-yard face mask penalty, and that is a big break for the Pirates. And wow, there's a one of the El Camino coaches is just giving the receiver here, or the referee here on the near sideline an absolute earful. All right, that's going to move the football all the way out to the Wildcat 47-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Pirates. Coleman and Siluano to the bottom of the screen. Wynn with the handoff. And Latham struggling for some tough yards there. Gets it down to the 45-yard line. Gain of 2. Make it a 2nd and 8 for the Pirates. Clock running 3:22. Clock is not the friend here of El Camino. If Oceanside can grind this out, makes life very difficult for the Wildcats. And you see Coach Denicky there on the sideline. 2nd and 8 for the Pirates. Wynn back to throw. He's pressured. Throws it towards the near sideline. Incomplete. Intended for number 14, Rene Siluano. That'll bring up a 3rd and 8. Stops the clock with 2:53 remaining here in the third quarter. Again, to recap, Oceanside is led throughout. And Steve, why don't you take us through some of the scoring plays and who stood out for you so far tonight?
Well, certainly Coleman has definitely stood out for the Pirates tonight. I think Wynn's been off on his targets, but Coleman got himself free. I don't know how they missed a talented guy like that. Caught the one pass for 35 yards for the score here in the second half, but also had that good big 60-yarder when he took a little hitch pass and just ran past everybody on the El Camino side.
And Coleman splits to the left. He's at the bottom of the screen. We'll see if Wynn looks his way here on this 3rd down and 8.
And
Coleman's got single coverage, and he is open, and he's got it. 10, 5, and he is down at the 1, maybe the 2-yard line, but they dialed it up for Coleman. Looks like Coleman is Jordan Wynn's new favorite target.
And I appreciate him doing that, just as we mentioned him. I really appreciate that. I'm going to send him a thank you card this week.
Like we said earlier, he was in the production meeting, so they're paying attention down there, so making you look good up here, Steve.
And where are we spotting that ball? Are we at the 1? Is that where we are?
We're going to get an instant replay here, and we'll get a better idea of where the spot is. And you see Coleman, good throw there by Wynn.
Might have been his best throw of the night.
And, yeah, that looks like down at the 1-yard line. So 1st and goal for the Pirates. They're saying 2 on the scoreboard, but we'll call it the 1. And Submarine there at the line of scrimmage. The ball carrier did not have much room to operate. That was number 42 with the carry. That's Jake Felly. Or I beg your pardon, I think it's Jake Feely. Malaulu with the stop for El Camino.
You can hear the voice of the Wildcats, Matt Evans, with the Malaulu. I think he just likes saying that.
I love that.
But great emphasis, though.
And we got some all-name guys on both squads tonight. Test your linguistic ability for sure. Siluano in motion, and again the give. Inside handoff there, off tackle, nothing doing. El Camino defense stiffening near the goal line. Oh, they're going to give it to him. Forward progress. Boy, was that a late call. Wow. You really don't ever see it quite so late, but I guess they just needed to peek in there and get a better look, and I guess that nose of the football just squeaked right over the goal line.
You separate the bodies, you sift through the dirt, and lo and behold, he's across the goal line. So big score for the Pirates here.
1 yard in a cloud of dust. And there's Herbie. He's getting ready to do his thing again in enemy territory here at El Camino. I think that was Felly on the carry, but we'll wait till we see a replay. And the extra point try is good. That stretches Oceanside's lead to 34-12. And that scoring try is brought to you by Waste Management. From the employees of Waste Management who work and live in your community, we wish the teams all the best. Think green, think Waste Management. Another little time for another Waste Management factoid for you. Who would ever think that the simple act of recycling a soup can, we'll hold that thought for a moment. We'll see the scoring play here. Still can't tell who the ball carrier was. And we still can't tell who the ball carrier was. But that's all right. Touchdown, Oceanside. All right, we'll start that Waste Management factoid again as you see Trace Denicky. Who would ever think that the simple act of recycling a soup can could help clear the air of greenhouse gases? In 2006, Waste Management processed more than 209,000 tons of metals, thereby reducing greenhouse gases equivalent to taking about 324,000 cars off the road. Think green, think Waste Management.
Well, I'm thinking soup.
And cars?
Well, you know, at
and
this
big
point,
numbers again?
At this point in time, the Pirates are telling the Wildcats, no soup for you. I just had to throw that in.
All right. Gratuitous Seinfeld reference.
Absolutely.
There. I've been trying to mix in a Rocky 3 reference all night, but I haven't found the right opportunity yet, so we'll see if we can get one in. Kick taken at the 22-yard line. That's Matt Rash. He's going to bring it out to the 30. Don't do it. Don't do it, Steve.
Wasn't even thinking.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say something that kick was covered by Rash, but instead I'm the guilty party, so.
I'll stick with my Seinfeld references.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. 1:21 remaining here in the third quarter. El Camino on the ropes, down 34-12. To say they need to score quickly would be an understatement. Although if they can score and get a two-point conversion, it's just a two-touchdown game, so there is still hope, but time is running out. New quarterback in there. That's right.
Say, that looks like an 11 on that.
That's Colin Jones, who had a touchdown toss earlier in the game on a beautifully designed option play.
Well, the trickery has ended as Colt is back in the lineup for the Wildcats.
And I got to comment for a moment. Colton Morrison, if that's not a name right out of Central Casting for a quarterback, I don't know what is. Colt McCoy plays quarterback for Texas. The Longhorns, and you got Colton Morrison here for El Camino.
And of course, you had Colt Brennan recently.
That's right.
So
Colt. Lots of Colts. Morrison with the throw. That was way off target. Two receivers there, but can't find either one. Quinini and Rash in the vicinity, defended by number
51.
That was 51 on the defense there. That's Sam Newey, 6 foot, 190-pound linebacker. He's a junior for Oceanside. 38 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Morrison faces 3rd and 12. Rolls right, tries to buy some time. He's got time, and he's got nobody open. Good coverage downfield. Siluano playing center field, joined by number 34 and number 8. That's Noah Tarrant, number 34, and King Holder, number 8, for Oceanside. And that's going to bring up a punt situation once again for El Camino. Little umbrella defense there for the Pirates. They just dropped 3 guys deep into coverage, covering the deep middle, and Morrison had no place to put that football. Good snap. And a good punt That's going to drive Whitaker back to his 30-yard line. He's going to let that one go out of bounds. That's going to bounce out at 30 or maybe the 31-yard line. Looks like they're going to spot it at the 31. So 1st and 10 for the Pirates. That is a net 43-yard punt. Of course, no return. And Oceanside will set up shop at their own 31-yard line. I want to also give a special thanks tonight. Our KOCT live broadcast cannot be made possible without all the help from Mike Sherwood and the City of Oceanside, and of course Matt Evans and his team at the Oceanside Unified School District for their assistance in bringing this game telecast to you live on KOCT. It is a thrill to present the high school game of the week live on KOCT, and we'll have a couple of rebroadcasts of this game. Check koct.org for the listings. Quinn with the handoff to Latham. He's going to bounce it out to the 34-yard line. Gain of 3 on the play. 2nd and 7. That's going to end play here in the third quarter. With the score, Oceanside 34, El Camino 12. As they switch sides, we're going to throw it down to the sideline. Stacy Castleton has got another report for us. So whenever you are ready, Stacy, go ahead and take it away.
Earlier in the broadcast, while talking with Coach Herb Meyer, you guys had talked about the condition of El Camino's field. Well, some exciting news on that front is that by the 2010 season, El Camino is expecting to have a new stadium entirely. And spearheading this effort is Oceanside Unified Superintendent Larry Perandi, who happens to be a very good friend of athletics in the Oceanside schools. Furthermore, the thinking behind all this is that there's a direct correlation between athletes and good students. So you better your facilities, you increase the likelihood that kids want to come to the school. Then they want to play sports. And as they continue to play sports, they get more involved, the test scores go up, and it betters the school for the entire district. But most importantly, what we need to remember is that this didn't happen without the support of Oceanside, the entire community in the first place, with their overwhelming support of Proposition H, which was recently on the ballot. And that, I'm told, is the magic of Oceanside, because this is a place about Marines. It's about service. It's about supporting those that you live next door to or across town or are rivals with. That is the magic of Oceanside. Back to you.
Thank you, Stacy. The magic of Oceanside, indeed. Fourth quarter action underway, 34-12. And the ball carrier there, it looks like a late fumble. I don't know if they're going to call him down or not. And they are, well, Trace Denicky signaling El Camino football, and he is correct.
Like to take another look at that one again.
El Camino gets the football right back, and Rene Siluano is dumbfounded. I think he believes he was down by contact. Does not agree with the call. I'm sorry, Steve. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just agreeing with you. I'm thinking the initial reaction was it looked like he was down, but maybe that ball was squirting out as he was going down.
All right, we're going to get another look at this one. Here we go. And the give there to Siluano, and Markham comes up. Nope, that's the right call.
Great call.
That is absolutely the right call. Trace Denicky saw it correctly. And El Camino, the opportunistic play on defense. So Morrison and his Wildcats get great field position at the Oceanside 40. Swing pass. And again, Morrison is not sharp tonight. That is a difficult pass swinging out of the backfield, but he missed his receiver there, Joseph Darris. Pass falls incomplete, 2nd and 10. And El Camino's passing game just seems out of sync tonight.
Yeah, Morrison had a tough first half, and he's only completed one ball in the second half out of 9 attempts in the second. He's 1 for 9 in the second half for 5 yards.
All right, so 2nd and 10. After that incompletion. Morrison, deep drop. He's looking long and nobody home. Looks like a miscommunication on the route. Nobody really in the area. Looks like number 10, Eric Vasquez, might have been the intended receiver, but kind of hard to tell what happened there, Steve.
Yeah, definitely some miscommunication. Morrison was looking deep, but his receiver was probably about 10 yards in front of where that ball wound up.
All right. That'll bring up a 3rd and 10. We'll call it the 41-yard line. El Camino with great field position, but can they capitalize? They've faced 3rd and long situations all night long. Oceanside shows blitz. El Camino tries to beat the pressure. Long pass looks like number 5. Elijah Atoe broke off his route early, and Colton Morrison got drilled, and there's a penalty flag on the play.
And that's going to be a personal foul.
Morrison comes off the field limping, and that's a roughing the passer call against the Oceanside Pirates. Morrison stood in there as long as he could to deliver that football, and then he took a shot. So the Wildcats, the beneficiaries of that 15-yard personal foul penalty, prolongs the drive. They're going to get the ball all the way down to the 26-yard line of Oceanside, and new life here on this possession. And it looks like Coach Deneke still putting in a late signal call there to his quarterback, Morrison. Gives Morrison a little bit of extra time to recover after being shaken up on the previous play. Morrison with the inside handoff there, and again, nowhere to run. That's number 7, Eric Powpow. In on the tackle, Brian Schwenke and Bashari Washington. Both Schwenke and Washington have had good games tonight. Schwenke plays right tackle and plays on the defensive line. Of course, he's heading to Cal. And Bashari Washington also having a stellar game in the interior defense for the Pirates. Morrison with the pitch. And that's Vaina on the stop, assisted there by Thomas Molesi.
I think that's the first time we've actually seen the option tonight from the Wildcats.
That's right. That's right.
Nothing has changed, though, unfortunately, for them. The ground game is just really struggling. They're having great difficulty trying to find any holes. The Pirate defense is quick against the run.
All right, 3rd and 9 situation for the Wildcats from the Oceanside 25. Morrison takes a shot again, and that pass is intercepted by Justin Vaina, number 22, and Morrison is still down, getting up very slowly, facing a tremendous pass rush all night long. He stood in there as long as he could, delivered it, but couldn't get much on the throw. And Vaina with the interception. You see Morrison throw it off his back foot, and Vaina steps in front of that pass and brings it in. Great play by Vaina on defense. And with 10-11 remaining, that may have been El Camino's last best hope to make this a close football game. Oceanside takes over 1st and 10 from their 11, and penalty flags on the play. Now it looks like they're going to
wave it off.
Yeah, they're going to pick that one up.
But I think you hit a key point there, Art. That could be a dagger for the Wildcats. They calmed down and scored. There's still plenty of time to get another quick score and get back in it. But right now, the clock is certainly working against them with the Pirates' big lead.
Well, right now, too, it just looks like the Pirates' pass rush is just giving El Camino's front all kinds of problems. So
yeah, Morrison took a pretty good shot on that last play.
He sure did. His last 2 drop backs, he's gotten drilled. So that's got to wear down on a young man. Now, El Camino's defense has been opportunistic tonight. They've had a couple of take it right back situations tonight. So not quite over yet, but
and very similar
El Camino
to what they
needs
did
a
last
big
week.
play.
Yeah, I mean, last week, same thing. They had some good takeaways against San Clemente, but again, offensively, they just couldn't generate enough to put enough points on the scoreboard.
All right. Give us a chance to catch up on some more housekeeping here. Rebroadcast times for this. As we broadcast tonight, we're live, but you can see this game again on KOCT Channel 19, Saturday, September 13th at 9 p.m. Also again on Sunday, September 14th at 2 p.m. Those are both on Channel 19. You can also watch live streaming or the video streaming on Channel 19. Go to KOCT.org for more details. And that's Whitaker taking the handoff. He's got some room to run, and he's going to bounce it all the way out to near the 20-yard line. We'll call him down at the... I guess they're going to mark him down at between the 17 and the 18, so we'll call it the 18. We'll call it the 18. Gain of 7, 2nd and 3 from the 23-yard line. Jerry Whitaker also plays on the Oceanside basketball team. We've seen him on some KOCT basketball telecasts. Siliwano with the carry. Good tackle there. That looked like Markham on the tackle.
Down.
Yep.
And every time the Pirates convert a first down, that's just another dagger for this Wildcat defense.
Yeah, clock running, 9:18 to play here in the contest. Oceanside up by 3 scores, 34-12. Good look there at Markham. He goes 5'8", 165 pounds. He is a junior. A very solid game so far tonight for the Wildcats. Wynn, he's just going to take a knee on that one. Broken play. I counted about 4 brown shirts in the El Camino backfield, so Wynn had nowhere to run there. Don't be a hero, son. Just take a knee. And
Smart play.
Yeah, absolutely.
Smart play by, technically I guess you can use the term a veteran quarterback. He's a state championship quarterback, so he's been there. But, yeah, a smart play. You got a big lead. No sense in forcing it or, dropping the ball. Good decision by the quarterback.
Yeah, Wynn's got an awesome winning percentage. I think I did the math earlier. 9.29 winning percentage as 13-1 as the starting quarterback for the Pirates. That's pretty impressive. He knows how to win. Jordan Wynn. Ball carrier there is Elijah Latham. Why, thank you, Terrence. Terrence Webster. A special thanks to you for all you do in the city of Oceanside. And again, quick reminder about North County Cobras football. They are 8-0. Who do you guys have this weekend? California Raiders? Up in San Bernardino. So, football fans, you can't get enough of local San Diego football. Make the trip to San Bernardino tomorrow. It's a 7 o'clock start tomorrow night in San Bernardino. Go to nccobras.com for more details. North County Cobras football. The other undefeated team in San Diego. Jordan Wynn faking out the cameraman and faked out us too up here in the booth. But he is going to be dropped for a loss on that play. Back to the 17-yard line, and that's going to bring up a 4th and long situation for the Pirates. Pirates appear content to just grind out the clock here, Steve.
Yeah, they're in no hurry to do anything, and with 6 minutes and 50 seconds to play, they're going to turn it back over to the Wildcats, and the Wildcats are facing a pretty big deficit with not a lot of time left on the scoreboard.
All right. Punt situation for the Pirates. Fair catch, 47-yard line is made there. That's Markham. But we've called Dominic Markham's number a lot of times tonight. And there's another flag on the play as pace of play is starting to grind down a little bit here. Flag way back at the 5-yard line of Oceanside. Officials are going to confer about this one. And they're not going to, looks like they're not picking this one up, Steve. And that penalty is going to go against El Camino. That is a dead ball personal foul against the El Camino Wildcats, so 15-yard penalty is going to back the Wildcats up. Going to take them all the way back to their own 32-yard line.
And that's the fourth time tonight the Wildcats have endured the 15-yard penalty.
Yeah, those are a killer. They've got to be closing in on 100 yards in penalty
7
yards
penalties
tonight.
for 75 yards as we speak. So, again, the penalties and the turnovers have been the killers. And you combine that with the lack of the running game, and then you can see why you're down the way you are. But there's still time. They can get a quick score. You never know. Stranger things have happened, but they're going to have to throw the ball, move the ball quickly here.
Last year, this game was an absolute shootout between these two squads, with Oceanside winning 49-28. Not quite the same up and down action tonight, and that's going to be an officials timeout here as they sort stuff out here on the field. Steve, time to put your thinking cap on. We got 6:29 left to play here in the ball game. Start thinking about your KOCT player of the game tonight. Stacy Castleton will be interviewing that young man, whoever it might be, after the conclusion of tonight's game. So,
well, at this point in time, it's not official. Obviously, we've got still over 6 minutes to play, but my number one candidate would have to be Demario Coleman.
Yeah,
I think he's made 2 incredibly great plays, been a great spark on offense. Jordan Wynn, we know, is a great quarterback, has had an off night for a guy of his caliber, but Coleman's come up with a couple of big plays that have really set the pace for this offense tonight.
And you may also want to consider big Thomas Molesi in the middle there for Oceanside, who's really clogged things up on defense and, of course, scored a touchdown as well. So a couple of worthy candidates for Oceanside. Now, El Camino, if they have anything to say about this, would like to pull off the shocker here in the last 6 minutes and change, but looks like they're going to continue to try running the football. No gain on that play. Now Morrison in the shotgun as El Camino spreads it out a little bit. 3 wide receivers left, 1 right. Slant there, the catch, and
Big
a
hit.
tremendous hit. Popping right up after the catch is Elijah Atoe, but delivering the lumber there, Sam Newey. And that's what happens on those little slant routes. Sometimes the receiver takes quite a shot, as we see here, the replay. Also, J.J. Whitaker assisting in coverage, but Newey with the nice tackle.
Yeah, I think I felt that one up here.
Might have knocked out a filling. 5:25 remaining as a Morrison with the fake handoff, and he goes deep. And again, looks like miscommunication between Morrison and his receivers.
Yeah, we've seen that several times tonight, but most notably here in the second half. That's about the 3rd time this half they've had a big play where there's been a definite miscommunication between quarterback and receiver.
Not sure what's going on. Maybe you got to give more credit to the Oceanside secondary, because they may be confusing the El Camino receivers. Don't know if that's a sight adjustment issue there, where the receivers are breaking off the route because they don't think they can get it up the field. Morrison might see something pre-snap, and he reads the coverage a certain way, and he thinks that it's going to be open downfield. Either way, it leads to some wild overthrows and a lot of incomplete passes tonight. 4th and 4 from the 37, and El Camino will punt. Good kick. Whitaker will let that one go out of bounds. Actually, that angle punt, not quite as good as we thought, and it'll go out at the 33-yard line. Looks like the punter is still down for El Camino. Don't know if that's a cramping or an exhaustion issue there, but he is still on the field. We're going to have an officials timeout as they attend to the punter.
Well, if it is a cramping issue, he's had a busy night. That's his 9th punt tonight, so I'm sure his leg has gotten quite the workout.
All right.
I didn't see any contact.
I didn't either. Looks like Oceanside didn't really bring much of a rush there. Trace Deneke is concerned. He's going to go out and see what's going on. Also joined there by Jack Dugan, Sammy Quinini, is that McPerry handles the punting duties as well? No, that's that might be a towee who handles the punting. I'm not sure, but if it is a towee, they ask a lot of that young man. We have him in the stat sheet as the punter, but I'm not sure who is handling it now.
Yeah, that's who I had originally. It was a towee.
Yep. Well, let's see if we can see a towee on the sideline. If we don't, then through process of elimination, we'll know it's him. Yeah, that is a towee. All right, we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back.
Want to know what's playing on KOCT? Now, thanks to your hometown newspaper, the North County Times, it's easier than ever. Just look for the headline, Now Playing in the North County Times, for KOCT program highlights every day of the week. Thanks, North County Times.
In 1983, there were 50 dominant media corporations. Corporations that owned television networks, newspapers, and radio stations. Now, there are only 5. 5 companies control almost all media outlets. These companies decide what you see, what you hear, what you read, what you know. There are only a handful of independent television outlets. Oceanside Community Television is one of them. KOCT offers you the opportunity to learn more about the city you live in. Its disconnect from corporate media allows it to be free of bias or the need to grow profits. It is television that gives you a chance to speak to your elected officials, to get answers about what's happening in your community, to speak out, to be heard. KOCT, your community channel.
Global warming is a problem.
It's a problem.
I wanted to do something to become more energy efficient.
To protect the environment.
To protect the future.
So I turned to Energy Star for help.
Energy Star is helping me be part of the solution.
Everyone can join the fight against global warming. Go to EnergyStar.gov to learn what you can do.
Together,
we can all make a difference.
Sometimes you hardly notice us, but when you need us, we're here. Tri-City Medical Center. Whether it's an emergency when the baby's due or on the advice of your doctor, our team of healthcare professionals stand ready. Orthopedic, cardiovascular, surgical, or maternal child healthcare are just some of the specialties always available to you and your family. At Tri-City Medical Center, new standards of excellence are being set every day. At Tri-City Medical Center, we're always here for you.